Alrighty, everyone, welcome back to the UFD franchise. It is season 2, episode 1. Welcome, Voodoo.
Yow. Let's pop in.
This man is here and he's ready, and we are both ready. Um, we are doing the new format as we mentioned in the back end of the episode last time. So we will have 5 episodes a season, at least for the time being. So this one doesn't really change though. We will still be doing the entire off season here. Um, so let's do some re-signings if need be. Do you have any re-signings you have to do?
I have two I was thinking about. So I got Devin Duvernay and Audrey Estime, who are the two that I was
Hmm.
considering. I have like a couple other guys like Troy Dye and Malcolm Kuntz. I just don't think any of these guys are really like guys I like. Oh, I need to keep these dudes.
Right.
I think yeah. I think the name of the game here is youth and value. Really, I mean, I just don't. Of course the free agents that we got, a lot of them aren't really long-term options, I would
Yeah.
say, or at least maybe not high-end options.
Yeah.
Like maybe some solid floor players, but not really anyone gonna move the needle for you. So it's something to really navigate here. I'm gonna try to offer Audric Estime a nice little like 3 mil a year contract. He's 23, so I'm thinking like he could be just a good depth running back on the cheap, who also has a little bit of youth and upside. Might even switch that to 4 years, but he does not want to come back to Birmingham, so he will
Tragic.
be a free agent. And also try to see about David Duvernay here.
He had some nice plays for you in those games. I remember that.
And yeah, I'd like him as a depth player.
Actually had
But
his
he
his
also
best career year was with you, actually.
nice. Well, he is deciding that his career resurgence will go elsewhere. And
Well,
Efton Chisholm is our wide receiver 3 currently, so
I mean, as he should be.
as he should be. And I don't expect to make any moves at that position. I'll tell you what.
Yeah. On my end, I already did a lot of the negotiations in the season. So a lot of these guys are just asking for franchise tags if they want it, but a lot of them are not getting it. By a lot, I mean none of them are. Um,
Fair enough.
and really, it's just the two guys I called up um, early in the season whenever those injuries showed up. I like David Gusta, the D tackle, who's young, and then Toriano Pride Jr. I mean, they're decent young players, but I don't really feel like they have a spot on this team right now. So I'm just gonna decline both of them, and we are happy with what we have. So let's go ahead into free agency. Are you excited? I'm very excited to
I
see who's
am
here.
very, very excited. We just get a
Yeah.
full, we just rip the whole thing open here. We can just get right into it.
Yeah. And by the
Excited
way,
for it.
if you weren't there to the end of the last episode, we have free reign again. We no longer have restrictions on free agency, trading, anything of that matter. We can do everything that every other NFL team can do. Um, so we are able to start signing some guys now, and let's see who is even available. Some interesting players. Some that
Yeah.
we did expect Kenneth Walker here, because of the Bijan signing, but I did not expect some of these guys. I guess maybe we could just quickly go through some of the positions and just go over the
Sure.
players. I guess
Sure.
I'll start with the offensive side, I guess. So
Hmm.
quarterback, there's upgrades for us, but not necessarily anyone we're hitching the ride to long term with Mac Jones, Justin Fields, Anthony Richardson, Tyler Huntley, a bunch of those like
Yeah.
depth
And these
options.
guys want franchise money. Like they are asking for 30 mil a
Oh
year. Like
wow.
this
Yeah,
is an extremely
a lot.
interesting quarterback market.
Yeah. So that definitely changes things for some teams looking at the draft class as well. Looking at running back, obviously Kenneth Walker, the big dog in this race here. And he's not even asking for a crazy amount of money, but he is going to be a really high priority target for a lot of teams. You also see some other guys like Charbonnet, Jordan Mason, Tank Bigsby, Rashad White, Kenneth Gainwell, a couple other guys in here as well that will be serviceable. Fullback Reggie Gilliam is here, but other than that, you see Ingold, Juszczyk, who's old. But yeah, nothing super crazy there. Receiver, this is an interesting one, and I assume will be a high value target. He's asking for 30 million almost a year. Zay Flowers, he's still young, he's still pretty good. And then some also decent options with Parker Washington, Josh Downs, Trey Tucker, Demario Douglas, some other guys down the board as well. At tight end, not an amazing group here. Hunter Henry's the best guy available, but there's some decent guys like Darnell Washington, Michael Mayer, Dawson Knox. Offensive line, left tackle looks pretty bleak here. Orlando
Mhm.
Brown, Broderick Jones. Really nothing super exciting for teams that need O line. Um, Looking at left guard a little bit better with at least the vets with Sam Allo, former Renegade, and also Joel Petonio, and then a couple other guys that are fine. At center, though, this is a little bit better. Elgton Jenkins and Aaron Brewer here, along with Coleman Shelton, Garrett Bradbury, some decent options. Right guard, Robert Hunt, Wyatt Teller, Cyrus Torrance. Again, it's a lot of these just more veteran bridge players here. And then a right tackle, not great either. Titus Howard, Austin Jackson. Yeah, it's not a great O line free agency class. Um,
Yeah,
was
not really.
You want to talk about the defensive side of things?
Yeah, let's get us started. So at left edge, continuing with players that are not very, very good. So you have Zayvon Collins, Lucas Van Ness, Charles Omenihu,
Yes.
Yatur Gross Matos, Tavius Robinson, and Miles Murphy, and so forth. Yep, more depth guys here who are kind of getting up there in age a little bit. I do like the Lucas Van Ness upside, maybe, but depends on
Yeah.
how you like these prospects. Really, defensive tackle. I'm not too upset with this D tackle group. Again, it's older guys, but comparatively to what we've seen, there's a pretty solid floor here with Christian Wilkins, Grover Stewart, DJ Reader, Franklin Meyer, Sheldon Rankins. There's a couple of pretty serviceable nose veterans.
Yeah.
Um, and I think there'll be a market for those guys. At right edge, you have some veterans with pretty good floors. So Joey Bosa, Andrew Van Ginkel, Jermaine Johnson, Carl Granderson, Derek Hall, and so on and so forth. At Sam linebacker, actually Isaiah McDuffie is pretty solid. And outside of that, not really many people worth talking about. Mike linebacker, a superstar Jordan Brooks leads this group here. Trevin Wallace, at Cody Barton, Zaire
Superstar Cody
Franklin.
Barton.
Oh yeah, I missed that as well.
Fire.
There's some studs here. Will linebacker, despite the superstars at Mike, this is definitely the Will linebacker class
Yeah.
for sure. Drew Tranquil, Diane Henley, Trenton Simpson, D Winters. Very solid Will linebacker class, admittedly.
Yeah.
Some interesting players for sure. And at corner, Marlon Humphrey, Kenny Moore, Kobe Durant, Dante Jackson, Riley Moss, Keyshawn Nixon, etc. And at safety, free safety, Xavier Woods, Kevin Byard, Darius Washington, Lee Hooker, Chuck Clark. Much more depth options, and of course, the biggest player in this class is strong safety, and in the entire free agency period, Brian Branch, who's already offered by 11 teams. He's going to get an absolute bag, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Jeremy Chin, Taylor Rapp, Jair Brown, and Josh's nightmare, Jordan Whitehead. Those who know. Uh, and then at kicker, there's some options here with Fairbairn, Chris Boswell, Jason Sanders. At punter, Rigoberto Sanchez, Ethan Evans, and Jack Fox. And
Yeah.
you're of course long snapper
Of
Hogan
course.
had.
There you go. Yeah, I mean it's not a super great class, but I do think it's definitely there's some high end targets here with upside, and I think some better bridge options than we had access to
For sure. Well,
last
yeah,
year.
we have
But
the books open. We were not getting
yeah,
closed out of a lot of these players early.
yeah,
Um,
I do think though it is definitely a little disheartening to see that there's not a more fruitful class overall free agency
for
because
sure.
we were really I think all four of our teams really are needing a big step up here, and I don't know if we're gonna have enough players here to make that impact to be a like actual above 500 team. I do still think we'll all improve, but it's gonna be interesting. So I guess we'll
Yeah, I think an
see.
interesting part of that is, of course, I think teams were more reluctant to let their best players hit free agency
Yeah,
because knowing that there were four big dog, not maybe not well, not big dogs and big dogs, but 100+ million cap room teams that
sure,
were
yeah.
ready to go and spend a shit ton of money for the players they wanted. So I'm surprised to see even like Ryan Branch here. Walker
Yeah,
does make sense
I know
because he's
The Lions kind of running out of money. I think they just, they paid Hutchinson and Amon-Ra, Jameer Gibbs. They have Goff still under the books, so it just kind of
Mhm.
tough. But it's unfortunate because I obviously I really like Brian Branch, but he has really no spot at all in my team. Like my secondary, I
Yep, and
completely added
same
to.
here. That's I mean he could come and play alongside Emmanuel McNeil Warren. I mean he's the kind of player you can figure out how to make him involved, but he's just
Yeah,
not the biggest need, unfortunately.
yeah, and 20 million a year. I know we have a lot of cap space. It's just it's not necessarily the smartest team building adventure there. Um,
Mhm.
so but yeah, I guess we're off to the races here. We can start looking at players to sign. All right, we are back. We have our 3 to eval here. I do see we are even on one player, Trey Tucker. So we'll see who best man wins there.
Best man wins.
All right, eval number 1, and you got him. I'm assuming.
Yes, sir.
Who
Yep,
else
Trey
did
Tucker's
you?
going to Berm.
Who else did you grab?
So yeah, of course we got Trey Tucker, but we also grabbed corner Kobe Durant and defensive tackle
Fair.
DJ Reader
Is
on a
DJ
one
Reader the
year.
one who was really
Yeah,
fleecing
he
you?
he wanted 8 million a year. I was like, it's just a little high, but
That's
sure.
fair.
He's solid.
Well, I will say I have signed 2 guys. One being Trenton Simpson to play will linebacker, and
There
then
you
the
go.
big signing, Kenneth Walker, is a renegade. My run game really fell off.
Wow.
Really fell off on the back end of the year, and I felt like I
You
needed
really
that
just wanted to
juice.
get the Seahawks backfield.
Man, Tyler Algier is not a Seahawk, so I don't know what you're talking about, brother.
Oh wait, I'm thinking of your fucking. I'm thinking of Tokyo
You
Samurai's
are,
franchise.
man.
That
I
makes
mean, I could
sense.
also sign
Oh man.
Charbonnet. He's still here.
There you
But
go.
yeah, I Tyler Algier, I like him, but he just didn't really win me over with that. And I think this offense needed juice, and this is the best offensive player for the cheapest. Zay Flowers is just too expensive. He heads to the
Mhm.
Texans, which that should be a fun little matchup there with Nico Collins and C.J. Stroud. You'll see Brian Branch go to the Texans. They're splashing money all over these really talented players. Um, we'll go over any other important players later, but I was mulling over a thought in for a trade potentially off of a trade block player here.
Sure. What were you thinking?
I guess my question for you is how dude, I want to do this kind of. What do you think it would take for me to trade for Kyler Murray? He's on the trade
Oh
block.
Lord.
He has 2 years left on his deal. He's 30 years old, 77
What's his?
overall, 40
Uh,
43 and a
that
half mil.
sounds like I really don't know how Madden's gonna value that player,
Yeah,
but if
like
I was thinking, man, well, he's
like
obviously he might even be like a fourth round pick
yeah,
for him, right?
so whenever I do the get offers thing, the
Yep.
players they would be willing to trade are either Chidobe Awuzie straight up, a third, sixth, and seventh for this year, or a second and fourth next year. So
Mm.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean that's probably a little more than he probably has. Like if we're talking like
Yeah,
real life, but
I was
he's
thinking
it's
maybe
close.
I'll throw see what a fourth does for now, and then go from there.
Sure.
Okay, definitely they want more than a fourth. So I don't know if this trade will end up being something I'm interested in then. Although they do need a running back. So maybe I could ship off Tyler Algier and a fourth.
Fair enough. I do have a little bit of news here. I am going to release Tre'Davious White.
Mm.
I'm going to save myself 3 million in cap this year. Rest in peace, Tre'Davious White.
Okay. The deal is done. Tyler Algier and a fourth round this year to the Cardinals for Kyler Murray.
Okay.
So Algier is their new running back one. And
how do you feel about that?
well, I had my thoughts on these quarterback prospects, which we'll get into. And I just felt like with how high of a pick I have, I'd rather go with a different player of talent. I think there's more talented players, and I don't know if I'd be
Yeah.
getting a good enough quarterback in free agency. And I think this is the best player available, really, to me with the stuff I have, whether it's free agency or through the draft, to at least tide me over, and then maybe wait for a year later um, for a quarterback. So I'm definitely out of the QB race at the top of the draft, which I was kind of
Mm.
not in my opinion, for a little bit. I was considering Ortiz maybe, but I don't know. We'll talk about the feelings of that. But yeah, so Kyler Murray is a Renegade, and my floor for this Renegades team is heightens through the roof now, uh,
Mm-hmm.
to a 7-10 record. um,
There
because
you
yeah,
go. I have
quarterbacks,
a
man.
question. Oh, I need to take a look at the mock draft.
Sure,
Curious what your pick is, because I think there might be some interest in your pick now, because I think
that's
obviously
fair. I'm at pick
the high
four,
pick.
I want to say.
Mm,
Yeah, I am at
okay.
pick four, so I mean we can keep in touch for sure.
I'll let you know.
On draft night.
Yeah, we'll get to that. But interesting. Okay, so Kyler Murray's your guy for the
Yeah,
for at least this season.
it felt good, bring him in. I love me some Kyler Murray. Obviously, was my quarterback for the entire playing part of my Cardinals franchise, so that was
Mhm.
very fair. I'm also, by the way, I'm going to move Max Iannaccio to left tackle. Um, he's been sitting behind Caleb McGarry at right tackle, but he's finally going to start over Jedrick Wills, which I
Dude,
probably
the
should have done earlier.
Battlehawks have $220 million in
Jeez
cap. They
Louise.
also only have 28 players on their roster, so this makes sense.
Well,
But
yeah,
yeah,
there you go.
yeah.
Man.
Okay, the Cardinals are also interested in doing a little deal with me. I'm trying to trade off Joe Tryon Shoyinka,
Mm-hmm.
um, and trying to give me Sean Murphy Bunting, but I'm going to try to just get some capital, nothing too crazy. How does um, say, a 6th round this year and a 4th next year for Joe Tryon Shoyinka sound?
Sounds
He's 28 years
solid.
old, 76 overall. Um,
I'd say it sounds
yeah,
fine.
and also has a 7 mil cap, so I think that's
Yeah,
you know
it's not.
I'm getting fleeced a little bit, but the cap I'm worth kind of getting. I'm fine getting fleeced a little bit here because they're taking out a pretty decent little cap chunk there for a player I don't think is that good. So,
That is fair.
there we go. Okay, that's the only deal I'm probably going to be doing,
I think
at least for now.
the only other one I want to make is trading Jalen McMillan somewhere. Titans and Patriots have interest. I'll look at the Patriots because they have the most on the table, but at the same time, do they really want Jalen McMillan? I mean, who is their receiver group? Oh yeah, they could use him. They have Keishon Boutte as their best, and Kyle Williams is the same overall. Probably just get like a 5th round pick. That sound reasonable for a 77 overall.
How old is
Jalen
he?
25. I mean, he has upside, but I mean,
Ooh, I'm for only a 5th. I think you
maybe
get a little more than
maybe I'll do a 5th and then I'll do a pick later next. I'll do a 5th and a 5th. Does that sound 5th
that. Just a
next
little
year,
better.
5th
Yeah,
this year?
sure.
We'll do that. I know it's not super high or flashy, but I also don't want to like completely just
Yeah.
steal from them. All right, back to free agency. I did put some players on the block, so if people come to me, I'll be interested. But if not, I will sit with what I have. All right, here we are with the eval 2s ready to go. Let's go ahead and eval. And another big signing for the Renegades, Aaron Brewer, for a 2-year
Wow.
deal, 85 overall center. Did you bring anyone else in?
I have 2 targeted. Neither of them have
Hmm.
confirmed with me yet. So,
All right, I will say
uh,
I still have my 2 targets. Otherwise, so I'm gonna be looking for one more as well. Let's see. Oh, Mac Jones got signed, by the way.
is he a Colt?
Yes,
Yep.
he is. 3
Oh,
years,
wow.
huge contract, getting paid more than Kyler Murray, which is that's funny. Um, anyways, I
What is that?
guess I'm probably interested. Am I? We could improve there for sure. Yeah, we'll do that. Do you have your 3 already, or are you gonna be looking?
Gonna maybe go for one guy here. but I'm ready in just a second.
Okay.
Just filling out the market right now.
There's still some
Mhm,
interesting players for sure available.
absolutely.
A lot of players in positions where I just don't really need them, but
Yeah, and it's also the situation where like, do you want to try to get these guys now, or you might get jumped, or do you try to wait?
right.
Because yeah, depending on if I get some of my signings, I might make a different decision. So
Yeah,
it's a tightrope. You gotta walk the tightrope here, and I
definitely. Yeah.
think I'm actually just not gonna make a third eval. I'm gonna have just two negotiations right now and wait it out.
All right.
See if I can get either of these guys.
Let me head to my thing here and let's go ahead and eval. And Josh Downs is a Ram, unfortunately, so I'm striking out on
Damn.
receiver battles here.
Yeah, well, I some good news. I ended up grabbing Blake Cashman and
Nice. Okay.
Osiris Torrance. Which I'm very happy with the value there.
There you go.
Uh, yeah, love to see it. Get
I
some big
guess
boys up
I,
front.
I, I guess I'm gonna be targeting Parker Washington. No one's offering him, but I feel like he feels redundant with my receivers, but I'm gonna offer him low ball, I guess. I just don't know how I feel about his
Mhm.
play style, but um let's see. I mean, other than that, are you gonna look at anyone else? Or are you
Um,
ready to sim?
I'm ready to sim because in free agency 3 I might end up just trying to get some more guys, but not
That's fair.
trying to fuse myself.
All right, let's go to week 2 and see if any of our players got picked up here. Um, yeah, I mean, these receiver battles, I mean, I tried going after Trey Tucker, didn't even try going after Zay Flowers, just way too much money there. But now losing Josh Downs. Um, okay, it does look like Emory Jones, left guard, 73 overall, 23-year-old, signed for a 2-year deal for me. That's about it. And
Nice.
everyone else and their mother wants Parker Washington. I just don't want him for the money that he's asking, so I'm gonna bow out of that. Um, and while we're here, I guess we can look at mock draft 5. It does seem like Josh Burke is kind of locked in at that first pick, which very fair. We'll talk about it, but he is insane. Um, they still have me going Jamie Ortiz at 4. Um, they have you taking Bryce Kilgore at 6, and let's see, they have the Stallions taking Parker Cunningham, left tackle, at 19.
Hey, interesting.
Very,
Hmm.
very interesting. Um, but we will come back with any free agent moves that we do here in the second week. All right, here we are. We'll eval and see. I have 4 negotiations. Voodoo has 1, and other than that, we're probably not going to make any other moves. Did you sign your guy? Is he still
Yes,
fighting?
I grabbed Michael Mayer to
Okay,
play tight end
nice,
for us.
very nice. I brought in, I brought Tyler Lockett back, the mentor receiver, to help this young group once for another year. I'm surprised he didn't retire. And then pairing back up with his quarterback, James Conner, for a year, mentor running back, getting him in the building. I still have 2 more, so I will just eval as long as you're good with that.
Actually, give me one quick second.
Oh, Poo Poo
It'll be
Voodoo
like
wants
5 seconds.
to check something real quick.
Yep,
He needs
it's
to
me.
see and make sure.
And need to really make sure. And yes, I'm just gonna go for this one guy. I'm actually gonna, just. All right, ready.
All
Whenever you
right,
are.
eval number 2. I didn't get anyone again.
Grabbed a fullback.
Okay,
Little
who'd you get?
Scott Matlock.
Ah, the big man from the
Big
Chargers.
man. Yep.
And then the last eval, I do sign my new tight end 1 in Darnell Washington. 2-year deal for
Nice.
him. And I'm
I
still
saw him.
waiting on one.
I was considering it, but I was like,
There's good tight
it's
ends too.
a bit of a money sink, and I'm like, yeah, like he, he has an okay floor, but where's the ceiling? I don't know, but he's not a bad player at all. So
Yeah.
I
All right.
respect that for you.
And then we will go ahead and stim here and we'll be back. All right. And we are here in free agency week 3. Um, and we'll see, did anyone else sign with me here? Looks like we do bring in Jadeveon Clowney. It was a year late, but he finally signs with me. on a cheap deal, veteran mentor presence again. I really just hammering home the mentors there, just trying to get the extra help for those young guys. But yeah, other than that, I'm really not interested in anyone else in this class. So yeah, I guess maybe let's just quickly look through and see. I guess we'll wait for next week. We'll see who the rest of the division has signed because I have not really paid attention to that.
Mm-hmm. That sounds good.
All right. I mean, other than that, I mean, pretty much ready to go to next week, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely got most of my players in the first couple of periods. I got like 5 or 6 guys. But we mentioned it how the class isn't really as deep as we were hoping,
Yeah.
free agents wise. Of
Yeah.
course, Branch is a big guy there, but yeah, it was kind of a difficult situation.
Yeah. But let's just scroll through and really just focus on the players that go to the Kings and Battlehawks. We'll look at quarterback first. Justin Fields heads into the already really, really muddled money
So
to
yeah, they're gonna
back there.
be their current outlook pre-draft for quarterbacks. They have what? They have Justin Fields now,
Yeah.
and they already had Penix and they had Malik Willis,
Willis.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
So I guess they're rocking with Fields, and I mean that means to me they're pretty much locked in on Josh Burke at 1. I don't think they're moving off of
That
that,
is,
which I get.
yeah,
I get. I understand. I think they think they're probably more than a year away from being outside of the top 5 to draft a quarterback again, so they'll probably be able to come back around in a year or two. Also see
maybe,
Jake
but
Browning.
they locked him down for 3 years. They had a little bit of
Yeah,
confidence.
yeah. I mean, it's yeah. I don't know, bridge guy. But Jake Browning heads to the Battlehawks with Daniel Jones and Mason Rudolph. I doubt that means anything. Also, Jake Fromm probably just gonna be a depth guy for training camp for the Kings, but he's there for 1.35 million.
Oh, Bills also get themselves a franchise quarterback, Nathan Rourke.
Oh yeah,
There you
there
go.
you go. Running back, Cardinals bringing Zach Charbonnet. Interesting. Jordan Mason headed to the Battlehawks to pair up with Najee Harris because Kenneth Gainwell left. And Pacheco
Yeah,
retired.
I know we're still talking about free agents, but I'm starting to feel good about that Vikings running back projection I had earlier
Oh
in the
yeah,
midseason mock.
I mean
So I
they have
feel
a
good
lot of
about it.
holes that they need to fill now. But Brian
Cool.
Robinson heads to the Kings to help out with J.K. Dobbins to be more of a power back there. I think that's a nice little signing.
Mhm.
Also Antonio Gibson kind of to fill that Kenneth Gainwell role in the Battlehawks offense there. I don't hate that signing for them either.
I think you got some good running back depth.
Yeah. You did sign Scott Matlock. Also, the Seahawks decided to sign Kyle Juszczyk and Xander Horvath.
They're going to
Interesting.
roster 2 fullbacks.
Man, who knows? Obviously, we talked about Zay Flowers. Parker Washington heads to the Patriots for a lot of money. Downs heads to the Rams. I mean, I tried to get him, but it wasn't worth it. You won the Trey Tucker 4. I didn't realize you give him 4 years. Damn. Fair enough.
Yeah, I'm locked in on Trey Tucker.
There you go. Jalen Naylor, who actually had a pretty solid season last year, heads to the Battlehawks to help out that offense. Um, Colts building up their core for for Mac Jones. Tutu Atwell headed to the Kings. Devin Duvernay, former Stallion, goes to the Battlehawks. And
Ooh, this will be a rivalry.
yeah, there you
Right
go.
there.
Andre Yoshivas goes to the Kings, and then Justin Watson heads to the Battlehawks as well. Tight end, outside of you signing Michael Mayer and me, Darnell Washington, really nothing super crazy. Broderick Jones, I do like the signing a lot for the Kings. They really need to rebuild this O line, and this is a big
Yeah,
upgrade.
we mentioned how like this tackle free agency was not good.
Yeah,
For the Kings, it actually kind of is because
it's
they have
yeah,
all poop everywhere. It's like wet peanut butter poop versus poop. So
yeah. I
they
mean,
they can they love it.
yeah, Broderick
I
Jones
love it.
and Max Mitchell. I think at least filling that left tackle spot pretty decently.
Sure.
Diego Pounds goes to the Battlehawks as like a depth option. Left guard, you see former Renegade Isaac Seumalo go to the Giants. Chris Paul, I do like this signing for them too for a 1 year deal for the Kings. Left guard. And Garrett Dellinger at left guard for the Battlehawks. I forgot their name for a second. Damn, the Rams going in on Elgton Jenkins there. Didn't expect that. Battlehawks bringing Matt Hennessy The Kings bringing Corey Bullock, who did not show up for picture day, it looks like. Um, and
That's right.
that,
They don't even have
yeah,
like the blacked out
no,
picture. It's just
it's nothing. Yeah, I will say their center spot is definitely their weakest spot on their line right now. Still,
Yeah, I think they
it's
could have
pretty
done a
bad.
slightly better job maybe filling that up with the
Yeah,
guys left hired.
but
But
I mean,
yeah.
maybe they like the draft and they're gonna draft somebody and feel good about that. And we'll see. Right guard Robert Hunt. That's actually a really big signing for a year. For the Battlehawks, bringing in a pretty good right guard and Robert Hunt. You brought in
Sure.
Osiris Torrance. Tyler Steen is a nice 2-year deal for him to the Kings as well. I actually have some. I like what the Kings have done with their O line, other than center. But
Yeah, I'm glad that they're investing. I'm glad that
yeah,
they're at least making moves because
because
any move
oh
really is
man,
an upgrade.
it was horrible. It was horrible.
It bad. Yeah.
They also bring in another younger guy, Warren McClendon Jr. for a 2-year deal. Decent pickup there. And then Colby Sordell is a depth piece for the Battlehawks. Looking at left edge, Zaven Collins, 2-year deal. They're really just throwing money around here, going to the Kings. Um, Cardinals were very active too. I think that Kyler Murray being freed up definitely gave him some opportunities. Um,
Mhm.
Dylan Hort. I guess you could talk about the defense. I stepping on your toes a little bit there.
No, you're all good. I just was yeah, I'm just looking at this and yeah, definitely you can see the Cardinals are making moves outside of the UFD, but in inner UFD, yeah, also glad to see that Louisville is actually spending some money here, making their roster better, picking up some edges. We'll head over to defensive tackle. Are you doing it sorting by overall or are you sorting by status? Because I want to make sure we're seeing it in the
Overall,
same order. All right, so I'll do by overall here. So Christian Wilkins is a Brown, Stewart's a Bear, but I'm not going to go over everyone, but some notable ones. Franklin Myers is back to the Broncos. There you go. Okay, Devon Gottschall is going to Battlehawks, and Jolan Briggs is going to the Kings. Brandon Dorless is going to the Kings as well, and Tyler Davis going to the Battlehawks. Quite a few defensive tackle signings. I think it's of course a position you want to be deep at. Elijah Roberts also going to the Kings here. Let me see if there's any guys down the board. Dean Lowry is going to the Battlehawks.
I will
Uh,
say I'm looking by
um,
sign, so it does make it easier to.
oh, that probably makes it significantly easier. Yes, I forgot. I forgot that's a place
It is a
on this
tab.
earth.
Yes, sir.
So there you go. Okay,
That is
yes, that
all of
makes
them.
this a
Yep.
lot easier. Yep, that is everyone. Heading over to right edge.
Oh,
Bosa is an Eagle,
okay.
notably. Andrew Van Ginkel to the Kings. The
I
Kings
did
are,
see that.
and also another nice move here. Jermaine Johnson to the Battlehawks. And Princely Umamulan to the
That's a
Kings,
really.
and
I like that pickup a lot actually, because
I do too.
if I wasn't as stacked at my young edge rusher group, I would have probably brought him in. But I just didn't have
Fair.
room for him.
And yeah, no, and pairing it with Ginkle, I like the little dynamic they could
Yeah.
have there for sure.
Yeah.
And Jacob Martin to the Battlehawks. So I'm glad to see those teams are getting active. They're not just gonna sit by and let us take over the division. They're gonna have something to say about it. Sam linebacker, a couple of guys. I mean, the Battlehawks signed a guy here, but just no one
Yeah.
really think worth talking about. Um, all due respect, love your Sam linebackers. Mike Swise, a couple of guys are picked up here. Oh, Jack Sanborn is a Battlehawk. Ventrell Miller is a King, and Malik Jefferson is a King. He's probably
Yeah.
a practice squad player. Um,
Damn.
Drew Tranquil to the Raiders and Diane Henley to the Broncos. Notably, of course, you grabbed Trenton Simpson, and also I like this pickup for the Kings as well. Dorian Williams, of course, is a Bills
Yeah.
fan, but
Yeah.
also young guy with upside. You can't go wrong with that. Um, and again, as we were saying, anything's an upgrade really. Still
Sure.
at this point in the rebuild. Corner wise, Marlon Humphrey's a Raider, and ooh, again, Kings. Oh man, they grabbed Kenny Moore and Dante Jackson.
There you go.
So I mean, that's a complete revamp of their secondary there. And Isaiah Rogers, senior to the Battlehawks. Riley Moss is back to the Broncos, by the way. I think that's the second player they've re-signed. They also grabbed John
So.
Franklin Myers again. Funnily enough. Clark Phillips is a Battlehawk. Q Blue Kelly is a King. Interesting. Kytrell Clark is a Battlehawk. And that is about it for the corners. Free safeties wise, we got Xavier Woods, the Colts. Kevin Byard is a Battlehawk. Darius Washington is a King. Justin Simmons is a Battlehawk. Not a very washed up Justin Simmons, mind you, but Justin Simmons.
They're hoarding the mentor free safeties.
Yeah, no, it's interesting. Yeah, they both just signed 2 mentors. I wonder who they're mentoring at free safety. Um,
themselves.
there you go. And it's strong safety. I mean, yeah, no one in our division. You know, Jeremy Chin to the Giants, Rap to the Raiders. That's kicker.
Ooh,
Bills signed 2 kickers.
Cade
Cade
York
York and
was the Battlehawks kicker, so they don't have a kicker right now.
there you go. And John Parker Roma. I've never seen this guy in my entire life. That's a
Oh, gee,
nice
you
name.
forgot about John Parker Romo?
I did. I forgot. I have zero L
Dude,
ball knowledge,
he
and
was yeah,
that's
he was
about
on the Vikings for a year. He was also on the Falcons last year, real life,
wow.
for a
I
little
had
bit.
no clue.
Yeah, man. Yeah, your ball knowledge is negative right now, man.
My kicker ball knowledge is in the negative.
Yeah,
It's over.
but I guess yeah, that's the free agency. Obviously not a super exciting class, but I do think all of our teams made some nice moves to be a better team. My team's up to an 80 overall now. How about you?
I'm at a 78 overall
Oh, you're
currently.
stinky voodoo, stinky.
I'm
Well,
stinky. I have an 80 overall defense.
there you go. So do I.
Right?
It helps that I brought in Kyler Murray. I think that's the biggest.
Yeah, Kyler Murray also got
And Kenneth
well, I mean,
Kenneth Walker.
yeah, you're saying that's the biggest signing. Come on,
Well,
now.
he's the
Don't
biggest.
be
He was the biggest like pure jump, I guess. Because you're
true.
talking Josh Dobbs, Luke Altmaier too, Kyler Murray, 77 overall. Um, but aside from that, I guess we have these private workouts we can look at real quick here and
Do
see
it.
if we can learn more about players that we really like or want to know more about. Yeah,
For sure.
it's tough right now. I'm not really even sure where to exactly look. Um,
Yeah. Oh, also, Jason Boston jumped up. He's a that quarter. He was not a round 1 to 2 projection initially. I think he's definitely
yeah, he was around 2 to 3, I believe.
jumped. Yeah. Interesting. Um.
Very, very interesting. Looking for I had a name here that I was looking at, but I can't remember. Dude. All right, this guy. Okay,
All right, I've done my private workouts.
you've done your part.
I'm doing my part. I didn't do shit.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting spot to where I'm like, I don't even know really what I want to look at here. So I guess I'll just look at kind of the top guys, I guess, right? Who's available. We'll look at fuck. Man, I mean, go him. We'll go. Um. Hmm. We'll go him, and we will go down the board a little bit just to get some more knowledge here. We'll go him. Sure. Oh, that is the wrong button. Okay, my private workouts are done. And let's go ahead and sim to next week, and then we will be back with a bunch of fun Google spreadsheet stuff. Welcome back to Google Spreadsheet Franchise.
Yes,
All
sir.
right, we will be back. All right, everyone, welcome back. We are drafting now, although it won't be that quick of a process. We took a little bit of time in between to finalize our mocks, our top 50s, get our final opinions on some of these players here. Just looking at some of the stories on the side, Devin Witherspoon of the Seahawks really wants to see a pass rusher to bring in some more juice there into that room, and I think I agree. Definitely one of their only needs. Patriots hoping to draft a receiver. I hope not for the at least first round, but I don't know. They traded for Marquise Brown. They signed Parker Washington. They have Kiki, not Kiki QT, Kayshon Boutte, and they also traded for Jalen McMillan. So I don't feel like receivers as big of a need now. Um, Trevor Lawrence would love to see a tackle upgrade. I think that would be very helpful for them with Walker Little still
Mhm.
starting at left tackle. And then Zachariah Branch wants to get a QB over Tua, and they're in a
Mhm.
prime position to do that at 2. So that should be
Yeah.
interesting. I feel like this is the
Did you?
most of these stories that I've seen, by the way, because Josh Sweat also says we need help in the secondary. I hope they draft a corner.
Mhm.
Um, what were you gonna say?
Yeah. No, I was just saying, guys are getting vocal. So,
Yeah,
um,
very much so.
yeah, no, it's interesting. So yeah, Josh Burke's the top pick in almost every draft board. Um,
Yep.
and it's going to be interesting to see. I think Louisville really is in good position. I think to have a turnaround and win some more games this year. Of course, with this pick and all they did in free agency, it's going to be a pretty crucial draft for them and for everyone else here in the UFD and the NFL.
Yeah, I'd say that is very fair. I just want to make sure that we're not gonna that we have the setting on correct, that we're not just gonna automatically advance. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Through.
Okay. Awesome.
All right, so let's hop in here, and we will.
Welcome to the
Oh, hold
NFL
on.
Draft.
Stop the draft. Stop. Please skip the video. Fucking playing Machine Head. Stop it. Oh, pause
Oh.
draft. It's on. Okay, so well, I yeah, it's fine. Hey, you know what? Kings make their pick. Josh Berry. I mean, to be fair, this pick was the most obvious one in the draft. This was like,
It was getting more obvious as time went on.
yeah,
Yeah, especially they said he signed Justin Fields. I mean, it was just like, yeah, he's just the best player in this class. I mean, I really can't. We of course we can look at our power rankings. We both agree he's the best player in this class. Look at
yes,
both of our mocks. We both agree he's the best player in this class. It really is just he's the best athlete in this class, and he is freaky. He is freaky,
yes,
quite simply.
he's
He runs a
insane.
4.7. He is just insane as a defensive tackle. He plays like an edge. He's as big as a nose. I mean, Josh
Yeah,
Burke is everything you could ask for.
yeah. And my pro comp, because we wrote up a little, you know, player script a little bit on each first round projected guy. Um, and yeah, I was looking at this guy. You know, this guy looks like a just very unique player that we see very few and far between. Um, and I mean, size wise, you know, he's 6'5", 289. He's 21 years old. Um, really just great at everything. He's an elite athlete, as you were saying. Really, the only thing you're concerned about is maybe his injury past, but otherwise, he should come in and immediately be the best player on that team for the Kings, especially the Kings. He could probably say that about a lot of other teams too, but for the Kings especially, they're going to get a high profile blue chip player. Um, and I said my pro comp was like a tall Aaron Donald. He has the skill set and explosiveness and athleticism that the smaller framed Aaron Donald has, but he's 6'5", so he's just a taller guy. Um, so yeah, I think this is the right. I think this is the right pick. There's really no reason to pass on Josh Burke here. We both had him as our ones, and he's the best player in the class in our both of our opinions.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the only guy I believe we've mostly agreed on uh, exact placement wise. But what do you think about the Dolphins here? This is where the draft really starts, which is I know a very cliche thing to say for a lot of years, but it truly is because they could go multiple different ways here.
Yeah, I think here at two for the Dolphins. I mean, they could go quarterback, and I actually do have them going Jamie Ortiz. And I think there are good players. Like you could, of course, go at edge, go grab Gilmore, or go grab Parker Kershaw, or go grab. I mean, there's just so much talent. Even like Keegan Howard, I don't think would be a bad pick here. I just think that they need a quarterback, and they have a weapons. They have the weapons. Get a quarterback. I really like Jamie Ortiz as a player, and I think he'd fit what Miami's looking for.
Yeah, I think that's very fair. And I thought that could be a possibility. In my mock, I did not have that. I had the Dolphins taking Cam Gilmore. That is what the mock 5 said. And I just
Mhm.
felt like in the early couple picks, I feel like when there's smoke, there's fire. And that's kind of the chalk pick. I think Cam Gilmore, while he's not like my favorite player, even favorite edge maybe in this class, I do think he's a very good high potential edge rusher.
How about
Um,
how about we resume draft and just let it keep ticking as we talk, and we'll see what they pick, and we can pause it.
it goes a
You
little
want to do
too.
it like
I mean, it goes too
that? Or
fast. I
does
think
it?
sometimes.
Does
Sometimes they
Oh
pick
yeah,
too
you're right.
quickly.
You're right.
So if you just make sure you sim one pick at a time instead of like last time in the second round, how we
Oh,
just stuck
I'll
or
think
whatever, or
about
the
it.
back end of the first, just one at a
Next
time.
pick.
And the
Let's see.
Dolphins take Cam
They
Gilmore.
do. They do go Cam Gilmore. Interesting. Okay. I mean, no, he's an excellent edge. I'll give this breakdown real quick of what you're getting in Cam Gilmore.
Yeah.
Let me get my freaking Google sheet. Hold on a second. Uh, is he not under edge rushers? Oh no, he is. He was just hidden.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, Cam Gilmore out of USC. He has the pro comp of Daniel Hunter, which I think is very fair. He is an excellent speed rusher, gets off the edge quickly, and is a prototypical 3-4 edge with elite speed and high floor athleticism.
Yeah.
Um,
Can't really go
yeah,
wrong with him there. I mean, obviously, there's a lot of really good players they could have taken, and they still have needs in a lot of spots, but I think you get some juice to the edge group. I don't think that's too bad of an idea.
absolutely. I think
Um,
like as you said, high floor pick, and just he's going to be an upgrade for sure for that Dolphins front.
yeah.
But what do you think about 3 here for the LA Rams?
I kind of stuck with the mock 5. I feel like this is a spot where the Rams really just could use a boost on the O line in general. And I think Keegan Howard is the best one in this draft, at least at the tackle spot. Um, and I think they have their pretty much entire offense figured out. Their defense is also pretty good. So I think they really just want to just build the trenches up for Ty Simpson and company.
Yeah, I agree with the pick there, and I also went with Keegan Howard here at 3. I think he's just the best player on the board for them, just value wise, and of course, um, yeah, I think they're going to get an athlete really at the tackle position, and looking forward to seeing that. So I need to be the one simming this, right?
Yeah, I don't have
Just to
the
make sure.
a
Yep,
possibility to.
just to do next pick. That's fine. It is Keegan Howard. All right. Well,
Yeah, I think it makes sense. I'll talk this one. Yeah, I
okay.
mean, he's kind of your prototypical like size for a tackle, at least like the lower end, I would say. But you know, great pass protector, kind of compares to a Rashawn Slater type of player. Has very quick hands and great movement skills. To be a really good tackle option for Ty Simpson to be a protector there. Um, he's very, very disciplined, great motor. Just really worried about his run blocking, but I'm sure that that's something that he can improve upon. And I think his overall build, strength, and agility should be a good mix of skills there to help him be a really good NFL tackle. But this is where things are interesting because now we're at my pick here, and I don't even know what I'm fully doing at this pick
I think you
because
could go a few directions here, man. I like.
I mean I will say Mach 5 had me taking Jamie Ortiz. Now, could that still technically be in play with Kyler now in the building? Sure. He could develop under Kyler for a year or two. That could still be the pick. It's not gonna be, I will say, because I do think Jamie Ortiz is a good prospect, but I don't think he's my favorite for how my team is built right now.
It's fair.
And just looking at who else is on the board, I don't know if I really want to take some of these guys this high or not. So I am potentially interested in taking offers from teams. I do see the Bears are willing to trade up, which is odd. Only giving up a 5th-round pick, that is some stinky poo-poo.
Let me know
Uh,
who's trying to trade up with you because I might need to step
yeah.
in
So I mean,
on
who are
something.
you worried about trading up?
Quarterback needy teams.
Well, the
let,
Colts are
let me
looking
know.
too, but they're I mean, I'd have to adjust their trade offer because they're looking to give up their first next. They don't have a first this year, right? So they'd have to give up a player, and I don't think I want that. So I'm not really interested in them. Vikings are looking to trade up from 32. So take that as you will.
I wouldn't
Seahawks. Um,
wouldn't mind.
Eagles. Dolphins are looking to trade back up. I don't really like a lot of these offers. Like
The
a lot of them
Dolphins
are.
are.
Here's
Oh,
the thing.
yeah, go ahead.
Here's the thing. Like a lot of these offers are either too far back or they are just straight up taking me out of the first this year. So like the Eagles one is interesting because they're giving me a first this year and next, a second and third next year, a seventh this and next year. That one's intriguing. The Seahawks, they're giving me first this and next year, a second this year, third, fifth next year, seventh this year. And the Vikings is interesting, kind of similar, but I don't know. I would really more prefer the Browns or Bears. Honestly, the Browns one might be the most interesting because they have they're giving me a second 2 years from now in their first to trade up. I don't know. I'm not too sure. Cause like who would be wanting to trade up realistically otherwise? Like if I was going out of my way to trade with a team, like just looking at it, Colts would be really difficult since they don't have any first round pick. I mean, Steelers maybe, but they didn't even really want to trade, so I might just have to stick and pick or just take a offer that's a little bit further down the board, and that's the thing is, do I want to do that? Oh man, that is
Depends on
tough
where you
call.
see.
I'm just in a tough spot because I don't know. I'm not like there's some players I love here, right? But I don't know if they're worth taking at 4.
Yeah, it depends where you see the value. I mean, if you have a guy you want, obviously I think it's okay to reach a little bit for like
Yeah.
a perfect scheme fit if the talent isn't maybe necessarily there. But I think you are in an interesting situation for sure. Where yeah, I don't really. I think you could go a lot of ways, but you could also go none of these ways.
That's
I could
very true.
interesting situation. So I will say who I have you mocked taking. I had you going Ben Burke, who I'm very
Yeah.
high on, and I think
I
it's great. Just a dog off the edge, but again, it's really like you
Yeah.
could use a lot of things, and you could use nothing. Like you could.
Yeah, like
It's a
I
weird sweet
do
spot.
I will say I am very high on Ben Burke as well. I really like Ben Burke, but I just don't feel like edge is a need in the first round for me.
Fair.
I had myself taking Parker Kershaw. He's on the board. I think he's the best corner available. But at the
Absolutely.
same time, there's the injury concerns. He's not the best athlete. I'm leaning towards maybe making a trade happen here with. Honestly, I'm kind of looking at the Vikings, and I feel like they're a team that's bound to regress, and they're offering me a bunch of picks here. Out of the teams that are giving me multiple first, it's between them, the Eagles, and the Seahawks. I think the Seahawks and Eagles are just built better to last longer. So
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna trade back all the way to 32.
Okay.
So
That's
Vikings are giving me a first this year, first next year, second, third this year, and a third and seventh next year. Does that sound like even to you as well? Because
I mean, it's pick number 4 in the NFL draft. I think that's fine.
I was more questioning like, does that even like enough? I don't even know how that would be technically. I don't know. I think it's probably enough.
It's up. I think that's up to you. I don't think it doesn't sound like a scam, but it's just how do you value those picks?
It's true. That is very true. I think we're gonna do it. It's a very interesting call because I think high end players are very valuable for our teams right now, but at the same time, I'm just not really sure the high end players match what my team needs are. So I'm gonna just try to recoup some picks here. A lot of picks actually from the Vikings, and we're gonna make this happen. So
Okay, so a blockbuster trade.
yeah,
Minnesota climbs took 28 spots to pick at number 4 in the first round. Was not expecting that. I mean, I was
Yeah.
expecting maybe a trade back, but not a
Now,
to 32.
yeah, I mean, there's really not a lot available. Now, here's really a good question: is what do the Vikings trade up for? I know you had them taking the running back, but not
Oh, do they
Brockers.
go
They
Brockers?
could go
Do they
Brockers
go?
at 4. Do they
Ooh,
trade up
that'd
all
be
the
fun.
way? I
That
don't
would be
know.
insane. Oh, do they go? Okay, there'd be okay. Crazy call. Do they go Ortiz? I don't think so.
Maybe.
But
I'm
dude,
interested.
McCarthy just won you a Super Bowl, but he also wasn't amazing. He wasn't
No.
great. What do you do here? This
I
is really interesting.
yeah, I'm interested. Like, what do you're giving up all that capital to trade up 28 picks. What are you trading up for?
Oh,
Realistically, you're looking at maybe an edge rusher, a quarterback, maybe a corner if you're really high on them, maybe an O lineman. Um, it's just like it's hard to say like I don't think if they take the running back here, I don't think that's a good value pick because they didn't have to
for
trade to 4 to do
Brockers,
that.
I've made fair. Wait. Well,
Because at the same,
if you,
here's the thing: you're trading up all of this value to go and take a
Mhm.
running back. I get it, but going up to 4 for it, I feel like you could have waited till like 9, maybe,
True,
maybe not though. But you never know.
true.
I think there's
I,
also running
I
backs down the board that maybe could have been fine.
I'm very high on Brockers. Honestly, I wouldn't hate it. I do think it maybe it's just a bit early to trade up for him, but maybe they're just like, I want to get this guy.
Yeah.
I don't want the Chiefs to have Jeremiah Love and Jordan Brockers. I'm going to trade
Right.
up. No, but no. In all seriousness, though, I like Brockers as a player. I do think it might be a bit early to take him, but that's who I would pencil in him. But there's a lot of good, as he said, edge players on the board, corners on the board. It could go just about any way. So are we ready to see what the
Yeah.
Vikings take?
Yeah. Let's do it. And it's Jamie Ortiz. Wow. I mean, that makes sense why they would trade up that far if they weren't high on McCarthy there.
That would make sense.
They
Okay,
won the
well,
Super Bowl with McCarthy, but here's the thing. This isn't the first time they've done something like this. They did this with Sam Darnold. They went 14-3, and obviously not the same outcome because they lost the Super Bowl, but they moved off of him for a new
well, they didn't lose
quarterback.
the Super Bowl. I don't think they.
Right,
I don't
it's
think
different. But I think
Right.
they're in a situation where they know their team's getting older. They're losing a lot of players here in the future. They want to get a guy that they're sure about, and Jamie Ortiz is that
Hey.
guy.
Yeah, I'll talk about him for you because
Yeah, go ahead.
he is ice. I mean, I get glowing review from me here. He is Jamie Ortiz is a perfect blend of athleticism, decision making, and IQ. He's an extremely dynamic player with the ball in his hands and has the ability to take over games. He showed exceptional leadership at LSU. He could play the role of a true pocket passer very efficiently, and he shows a lot of polish in running an offense. And he's quizzed very well. He thrives outside of structure, flips a switch when the play breaks down, and performs flawlessly under pressure. Quickly and accurately diagnoses opposing defenses and makes the right decisions. Is both strong enough and agile enough to work around defenders. His lack of elite arm strength and high end speed is notable, but is accompanied by a slew of other elite physical traits. Yeah, he is an excellent, like, just quarterback, straight up. He is all the accuracies you want, all the, like, really all he lacks is elite arm talent and or elite speed. Everything else is amazing. So it's an interesting quarterback build for sure, but I think he's really good. He did end up of course being scouted in Madden.
Yes.
Had a lower
He had a
projected
2
talent.
to 3 round, yeah.
I still think he's like a high dev player who
Yeah.
has probably still the best quarterback in this class by far.
Yeah, I agree.
And you have the Stallions at 6. That's probably, I mean, they probably were like, hey, shit.
Yeah, they didn't see
they
that
can-
coming, but because
Yeah,
I truly think that Ortiz would have been in your laps if it wasn't for a trade out there.
and that's what I was wanting. I was that's why I was asking you, like, hey, let me know. But I held off because when you said the Vikings, I was like, okay, they just won a Super Bowl. I get that, like, McCarthy isn't amazing, and that's why I brought it up. But they won a Super Bowl with the guy, but they don't care. I mean, Ortiz is an amazing quarterback, and I can't really blame him. They're going to get their guy and try to make this a dynasty.
Yeah, that's very very interesting. I will say I had Ortiz ranked as my 11th player in my top 50. I mean, I think as just a base player coming in, he's obviously not as high of a impact player immediately, but he has that potential to become one of the best maybe not one of the best, but one of the better quarterbacks in the league. I don't really have him as a top 5 projection in terms of as a top 5 quarterback in the league, but I think he could be top 10 guy.
Yeah, I mean, I thought he was pretty good. I had him as my my 4th player in my draft grade, but and he goes at 4, so I mean, funnily enough, it works out. But no, Ortiz is a great player, and we move on to the Kansas City Chiefs, where yeah, they're in an interesting situation. I had them going Cam Gilmore because of course I thought Ortiz might go to the Dolphins at 2. He didn't, of course, and so and Cam Gilmore was taken by the Dolphins.
Yeah.
So I mean, Ben Burke here would be awesome, of course. The player I had you taking, but what do you think the Chiefs are going to do here?
Yeah, this one I think the Chiefs do have a lot of needs, and I think one of their biggest is edge, and I agree. I think Ben Burke makes a lot of sense here. I know that's what the Mach 5 had, and it just felt like it made sense. He's honestly, I think he's better than Cam Gilmore as a
I agree.
player. I wouldn't say that Cam Gilmore is like bad by any means. He's just like he's literally one step lower. But I just think Burke is just an exceptional athlete with high end talent already. That it just makes sense.
Mm.
So I think that's where they're gonna go here.
I mean, I agree with you. Yeah, I think at this point Burke would make perfect sense at 5. Chiefs do need a premier edge rusher, vamp up that defense. Let's see what they decide to do.
There it
They do
is.
go Ben Burke. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
so
no,
that's a good call there.
I'll give him a little talk here. Ben Burke, obviously out of Utah, 6'3", 264. Reminds me of Will Anderson quite a bit. He's great athlete. I just realized this is all I have for some reason. Never mind. I had him pro comped as Nick Bosa originally. I don't know. It got messed up in the sheet. But anyways, yeah, he's just a great athlete. He's a great speed rusher. Um, very good tackler as well. Has a great high IQ player as well. Really, just the biggest concern is his injuries in the past. But other than that, he really should be one of those premier edge rushers if the Chiefs scheme around that for him. But now we're at your pick here. And I was right about the Chiefs pick, but at 6, I had you going Jamie Ortiz, but he's off the board, so I think probably leaning more towards where you were looking, if I had to guess.
Yeah, I was really thinking Kilgore, but I don't know. I don't know.
It's tough because at the same time, I think Kilgore's an interesting prospect. He's a good quarterback, but he has a lot of limitations on his ceiling. He's a smaller quarterback. He's not mobile. He's very accurate, and he's got a great arm. But there's a lot of concerns with him still, and that's really where your concern is. And if again, you only have Sam Howell on the roster, so that's another thing is, are you content with him being the guy at least for day 1 of the draft? And I don't know. Let's see. Maybe you trade back some play. Who knows? You have a lot of options.
I'm going John Ross. I'm going Byron.
No. What a terrible pick that would be.
Dude, I have so many needs. I have some eyes on some guys. I might have to trade back.
Oh yeah, brother.
I might have to trade back.
I mean, it's very fair. That obviously, if you're not high on Kilgore as much as taking him at 6, definitely makes sense. And there's definitely players worth trading up for some teams. If people are really high on one of these corners or edge rushers that are still available, could
I'm not
make
getting
sense.
many deals I like. I'm getting the Seahawks want to give me their pick first this year, their first next year, their second this year. That might be the loss. I'd be trading all the way back to 30.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can do that. I think I want a high impact player.
Yeah. I do find it interesting. The Jets are really hanging on to their 3 picks. I figured they'd be a potential team to trade up. But they have not had any interest in doing so. I think they're really locked in on taking these 3 top 20 picks.
Yeah. No, yeah. Sorry, I'm thinking right now, but yes.
Well said.
Fuck. I have so many needs, man. This is so bad. Okay.
Yeah, man. I mean,
Damn, this is a really tough situation.
hey, you're not going to be able to turn everything around in 1 year. That's all I'm saying.
I know. That's why the quarterback's not off the board yet. Is all I'm saying.
That's true.
There's work that needs to be done, and there's two guys I think I'm between if I'm picking here.
Would you like to share?
Yeah, I guess technically it doesn't matter. Of course, unless you trade it up or
I'm
something.
not
But
planning on it.
I don't. I know if I take one, the other guy's not going to be here.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm not going to tell you. I'm going to
Okay.
make my pick.
All right. Well, yeah, let's be a little
All right.
surprised here. Where's Stallion's going
Be
to take?
surprised.
Wow. Okay. You said you were really high on him. I didn't think you were that high on him, though. Taking him yourself.
He's 6'6" in true value. I drafted him at 6.
There
He
you
is
go.
elite. Love it. He is 90 plus everywhere. I mean, this guy's a freak, and I had to. It was painful though, because it was him or it was Colin Bush, the edge.
Sure,
I
yeah.
need edge desperately, but like man, this I just really like Rockers a lot,
Yeah.
and
You wanna
I
get into his profile a little bit?
yeah, let me break it down for you. So Jordan Brockers, yeah, he's an exceptional athlete, excels at creating after the catch, fights for every yard as a runner, and is superb at leveraging his size to his advantage. He's 5'7", of course, out of Louisville. I gave him the pro comp of Maurice Jones-Drew. He displays a high level of urgency on each carry, gets the hole quickly, can bounce outside in a flash, leverages his small size to slip through defenses, and very quick to find run lanes and get to the second level before utilizing his burst. Needs to adjust to NFL-sized defenders and work on completing the process of the catch. Has a freakish level of athleticism, especially for his size. Has proven to outplay competition with sheer ball skills, oozing with upside as an athlete, amazing movement skills and technique as a ball carrier, and the mental traits to back it all up. Yeah, I think he's an awesome player, and I'm I think you could definitely make an argument that taking the quarterback is the right move, or taking the edge is the right move because we have a big needed edge. But I just think that I personally think Brockers was the best player available, and
Fair.
I went best player available.
Yeah, I mean, I will say your run game is also not very good, so it's not unreasonable to say, hey, we need to
Yep,
improve the run game with the running back.
definitely.
I know you had him as your second best player in the draft. I had him at 17. I don't know. I mean, he's a good player. He's just not. I don't know. He didn't look to me like someone I would have taken this high. But obviously, you're higher on him, and obviously should work out. Hopefully, he's going to be instantly running back one there.
Absolutely.
So
Okay, well, so excitement here in the first few picks. Honestly,
yeah,
the trade up and now the Brockers pick. So now we're gonna go to pick 7 here with the New
yeah,
England Patriots. Where do you think they go
man.
here?
This is also an interesting one because I feel like they could go a lot of different spots. Looking at just what they needed, really, it's O line. That's their biggest need. I don't know, man. There's something about the Patriots here. I don't really know if they're going to go O line. I feel like they should. That's their need. But at the same time, I'm not sure if there's an O lineman worth taking at 7 available. I think the best one was off the board in Keegan Howard. And outside of that, you're looking at maybe a reach, which I guess is fine. But I had him taking Lynn Haywood. I was very high on Lynn Haywood. I actually have him super high on my board. I think he looks awesome. Um, I think they're just taking best player available on my board at least. So, but I could very easily be wrong with that.
That's fair. I mean, I think Lynn Haywood's also a great player. I have him really high on mine as well, and but I think they are going to go tackle. I agree with you that I think the high end tackle was this Keegan Howard, and after that, there's a bit of a fall. But I do have them going Max Farley out of TCU,
Yeah.
and getting that right tackle because it's a big need. Get a guy for Drake May and build through the trenches. But let's see what they do.
Oh, there it is.
There you go. Damn,
Lynn
you are
Haywood.
on fire right now. I technically haven't gotten a pick.
I mean,
well, no, the
I
Stallions
have.
technically
I
did,
will
but
say if I didn't trade and I stuck with my pick that I had projected, I probably would have been correct.
you would
Throughout
probably
all of
be
them.
you'd probably be cleanly correct on everything. So I probably
Yeah.
would have.
Taking Ortiz.
Yeah, no, makes makes a lot of
Yeah.
sense. But Lynn Haywood, walk us through it.
Yeah, man, I really like Lynn Haywood. I know there's all the rave about Josh Burke, but since he was kind of mocked all the time to go one, it was just one of those things of, hey, this guy is also very good. He's just not getting the love that he deserves because of Josh Burke. But honestly, he was a guy that I was potentially willing to take, even though I'm kind of happy with my D tackles. He's just that good. Good size, 6'3", 306 out of Auburn. Reminds me of a Jeffrey Simmons type build and player talent. But he's just like a great athlete for his position. Has just great pass rush chops and run defense. He's just very well rounded, a very smart player. Um, Only real weakness is his tackling, which he'll have to work on. But aside from that, he is a really, really great prospect. And I think for the Patriots, that will be a very nice piece to put next to Milton Williams on the interior line.
It's a good call there. Okay, well, heading over to pick number 8 here. Texans could go a few directions. Again, the
Yeah.
board is still chock full of talent. I personally had them going Manny Bodden, the left tackle out of USC. I just think it's another team that I feel like could use a bit of a pick me up at line, and I think I think you get an upgrade here.
Yeah, here's the thing. I do agree. I think they need line, specifically O line, a lot. But I don't think Manny Bodden is any good, to be honest with you. I really don't think he's that
Mhm.
good. I don't think he's a first round talent. I just had them taking the next best lineman available, at least for tackle, and that's Brad Jones out of Clemson, who I think is the next best tackle available.
Fair enough. Well, yeah, I mean, I like Bodden. I do. I don't think he's the best left tackle, and I like him probably more than you do. I feel like he has a great pass blocker. It's just I think that there's some left to be desired from a high pick at tackle. So
Yeah.
I fair enough. I think it's just a matter of preference, and we'll see what the Texans decide to do at this pick. I think either way, getting an O lineman, no matter what, it should be an upgrade for them. They need tackle desperately. Let's see what they do here.
Whoa.
Nope, they are. This is okay. Wow.
Okay. The first
Uh,
complete shocker pick, I guess. Like not
wild
even.
card.
I mean,
Well,
here's my thought. Right, they have obviously a really good defense, but they're bringing in another excellent corner. I mean, that corner trio with Lassiter and Stingley, along with Perryman now, should be a top group in the league.
yeah. I mean, that makes sense. It makes sense. That's definitely a way you could go about this. I think if you're not going to take a tackle, I mean, Jamar Perriman probably is the highest valued prospect on the board right now, or at least right up there because yeah, he was projected top 5 for quite a while there, and yeah, no, I think you get a great athlete. I'm a big fan of Perryman. I guess I'll walk everyone through him real quick. So yeah, Jamar Perryman. He's great with man coverage. Flips his hips quickly, gets downfield. He has great size and technique. Decent enough athlete to keep up against most receivers, but he's a ball hawk. I mean, this guy. There's guys who are like athletes, but then there's guys who are just ball hawks, and they just have insane ball skills and technique, and that's what Perryman is. He is like the how we term a receiver a route technician, but he's a coverage technician. He gets on you. He does not let you get out. He stays in your hip from the apex of the route all the way downfield. And yeah, you gave him the Richard Sherman look here, and I think it's fair. I think Sherman, of course, at the top of his game, he was an incredible DB, and I think Perriman has the chops for sure.
Absolutely. Absolutely, and I think whoever wrote that player card is a very smart guy. But um, speaking of smart guys, the Jets, I had them taking Perryman, so he's off the board. I could still see this being a corner, but since Perryman's off the board, not really sure. Could be any corner really.
Mhm. Yeah, I had the Jets taking Lynn Haywood because I thought he would fall to 9 here, but of course the Patriots pick him up, rightfully so. Because again, he's one of the best players in this class. So yeah, I think they could use a few positions. I mean, I just think a defense really. I mean, I think they have a lot of picks. They have a lot of ways they could go about it. I think that there's players and positions they're likely to take. It just depends on what order they think they
Yeah.
should take it.
Yeah, they could
So
use a
yeah,
D
I think
tackle, could use a safety, could use a edge rusher, could use a corner. Really depends on how
absolutely.
how they value these players on the board right now.
Definitely. So I guess we'll see right now who they decide to pick at 9, and it's going to
Okay.
be Jordan Watkins, which is interesting. I think that might be a bit of a reach.
I
Um,
I I'm not sure. I think he's a good player. I also think he's overshadowed quite a bit. I actually, where did I have Jordan Watkins on my board? I had Jordan Watkins at 30. So yeah, definitely like a reach, but at the same time, I think he has very good potential. I'll talk through that one a little bit here, once I find his player card here. Um, yeah, I mean he's good size, 6'4", 308, nose tackle type. You know the pro comp is a little concerning here with Shamar Turner, but you know he's just one of those like elite athlete players with a good floor. So he's just really has that potential to really elevate to an excellent player with his size, his athleticism, and floor. Just really, you know, gotta see that potential reached. That's the thing. They're betting on the
Definitely.
potential of Watkins, and I think of the D tackles left, I do think he is probably the best one available. It's just you gotta really hope that he can develop into that player that you're expecting him to.
Definitely, because I think we're expecting him, of course, to be maybe at 18 even, and obviously, I ranked him. I guess our combined ranking is probably a good way to do this. He's at 33, um, which I think is fair. I think he is a near first rounder, and it's not because he doesn't have the upside. He has the upside for sure. It's just where he's currently at. Like you need to get him, I think, situated, but maybe not. He could also come out of the gate flying, and the
Yeah,
Jets
and
obviously like what they saw. They picked him at 9, so
yeah, and I think you know that
I
he's
was
going to pair up with Peter Woods, their first round pick from last year as well. So I think you know they're really building a young front there, at least on the interior. So I think it could be a really nice relationship there on the interior between those two.
for sure.
So moving to the Giants pick here,
Okay.
what do you
Well,
think?
here at pick number 10 for the New York Giants, uh, where do you see them going with this one? I think this one's another interesting situation.
Yeah, you know, I was looking at their needs and everything. I think the Giants, you know, they're in a weird spot here because like their offense, like they could kind of use a tight end possibly, and this might be a tight end spot depending on how high they want to take one of those two first round tight ends. Um, they could use interior line. It's maybe still a little early for that, but they could still take one if they're really liking one of them. But I also think they could use corner. It's not a bad corner room, but I think they could always improve. I had them taking Eric Phillips out of Syracuse. I think he is a top 3 or 4 corner in this class, and I think you know at this spot could be worth taking.
Fair. I I like Phillips. I ended up, of course, I mocked Jamar Perryman to him. I thought he would end up falling here to 10, but he didn't. So I think with what's on the board
Could be
currently, the
Kershaw.
best Kershaw is definitely was as I was about to say. I mean we have them both. He's ranked as the ranked pretty highly on our combined and our individual uh, draft grades here. I think he's an excellent corner, and my honestly probably my favorite corner in this class.
Yeah,
Personally, I really like Parker Kershaw,
I do
but
too.
yeah, I guess we'll see where they decide to go. Um, yeah, I think there's quite a some room for a wild card here, and there
Oh,
that is a bit of a wild
oh
card.
man, it's just you can't
Nate,
escape it, Voodoo. It's the Giants love to draft edge rushers and pass rushers for no reason.
yeah,
I think
well,
this is the first pick I can confidently say is just not a good pick. Not because he's a bad player. Don't get me wrong. Nate Hayward is a really good edge rusher, but it just doesn't make sense for this team. They already have Abdul Carter. They have Burns, and they also have Thibodeau still. But I I'm just not a big fan of taking an edge at 10. Although he is a very good player. So
yeah,
maybe it's a future thing with Brian Burns potentially leaving in a year or two. So then it'll be Carter and Hayward, which would be a good duo. But as of now, it's just like I don't know. It's a little head
definitely.
scratcher.
It feels redundant for what they've done these last few drafts. It's just like feels like they're kind of going in circles maybe, and I don't know. I just think they needed a different position at least. Like we yeah, funny of course being on the other side of this, not being a Giants
Yeah.
observer and seeing them go edge every year. That was funny. But they got a player. I think he's a good player. If they find a way to utilize him, I think it'll be a good pick because I think he has a lot of upside. Um, and yeah, so I guess we want to head on to Chicago, and
Yeah.
yeah, I think Chicago's in looking for an edge here. Definitely would be in play. Yeah, trench would always. I mean, trenches are always something you want to fill out, unless you're the New York Giants, of course.
Mhm.
But yeah, I had them going Colin Bush here at pick 11. I'm also pretty high on Colin Bush. I think he's, of course, I said I was going to maybe pick him at 6 there, and
Yeah.
I think at 11 would be insanely good value for a player of his caliber. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that's very fair. Edge definitely could be in play. I have him going offensive line because I do think they could improve there, specifically left tackle Parker Cunningham out of Iowa State. Although I could still see Brad Jones, who's on the board, maybe being the pick here as well.
I do like Brad Jones quite a bit as well as a tackle. He's up there with Keegan Howard, in my opinion, for preferred tackle prospects in this class, and I think that'd be a good pick, Brad Jones or Colin Bush here. I guess we'll see what they decide to do. At pick 11, they
Ooh.
end up going Parker Kershaw, which is interesting. I didn't think corner was. I mean, like, sure, he's a great player. I just didn't think that this Bears were going corner here.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think the pick is kind of similar to the Giants pick, although it's a little bit less of a crazy one because I feel like you can get more corners on the field and work them in multiple different packages. And also, I do think Kershaw will end up being a better corner than some of the guys they have on the roster, anyways. So,
Definitely, he's. I mean, walk us through him.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I
great
mean,
player.
he I like you said, I agree. He's probably my favorite corner prospect as well, at least first round projected ones. Yeah, he's 6'2", 200 pounds, good frame, great man to man corner, very just elite coverage technician. Is very good against the run as well. Has great ball skills. Really just concerned about the injuries because he's had quite a bit. Very reminiscent of the Jermon McCoy type of situation that happened in real life. Um, and I think, he kind of reminds me of Jalen Ramsey in his prime. I think he could be and he could live up to that. We'll see. With the Bears, that's a good place to be with some already good corners, so that he could at least develop his skills and eventually take over. But he's not going to have to be immediately the best corner on the team, which could be good. It could be a positive.
I mean, yeah, they could definitely develop that secondary and help Kershaw become more affluent with NFL ball. But we can move on to pick number 12 here with the Commanders,
Yeah.
where I think tight ends is a sneaky pick here. I know they get all the guys are likely, but I don't think that stops him from taking one of my favorite, again, another big favorite of mine in this class, Brad Kelly, the tight end out of Boise State. But I think they could go a few other directions. So how do you see this playing out?
Yeah, this was another weird one. I feel like the Commanders have weirdly not a ton of needs. Their biggest needs are left guard and linebacker. It's really too early for both of those spots, so I think they're just taking best value. And to me, that's another corner off the board. I think their corner room is solid, but they could improve it. I had them going to Lorenzo Fryer, but again, with other guys on the board still like Eric Phillips, I think that could be the pick too. But I think corner might be the pick.
Fair. That's fair. Could pair a guy up with Mansour Delane. I think that's definitely couldn't be a bad decision in my opinion. But I guess we'll see what they do at pick 12 here.
There it
And they
is.
do end up going the corner, Eric Phillips. That's a good call there. Not the right player, of course, but
Yeah.
I think still a good shout there at corner. Um, and let's move on to pick 13.
You don't want to talk about Eric Phillips.
Oh yeah.
You
Well, no,
know,
we should probably talk about Eric
you're not a
Phillips.
big Eric Phillips
Apologies.
guy.
No. Here, I'll walk you through him. I like Eric Phillips. Just I didn't think he was off the board here. He is an elite man corner, and he has good coverage in other places. Handsy and aggressive. But he does have an availability issue. So injury is the same concern. I just also think there's not as much upside as like Parker Kershaw, for example, who is freaky. And he's also, I mean, he's handsy. That's a good thing, but also can be a bad thing. You think of, you know, it just gives you a similar profile to Davis and Igbinosun, where he's, again, elite man coverage can press up against you, but otherwise, I mean, the handsy stuff, the penalties can be pretty killer for a defense. So you got to make sure you coach him up right. Um, yeah, I think he's pretty good. I think there were better corners on the board, and I think there were better players overall and positions that could upgrade more. But Eric Phillips is not a bad player, and I think him, Mentor Delane, could end up being a very nice secondary for years to come.
Yeah, especially for a team that's been struggling there for a while.
Definitely.
But moving on to the 13th pick with the Titans, I am already wrong because this is where I had Brockers going because I think this is a perfect spot for Brockers, but he's not on the board, so I really am not sure. They have a lot of other needs, so they could easily address some other spots. But what did you have them taken here?
So I had them going the free safety Josh Springs. Get themselves a capstone safety, a big impact player on defense. And I'm really high on Josh Springs as well. I think he's one of the better prospects in this class. And getting him at 13 is good value. Give me the free safety out of Miami.
Yeah, I like him a lot, so if that's the pick, I think it's a good pick.
For sure. Well, let's see. They might also decide that edge could be the play for sure. I could definitely see it. Get a difference maker.
Oh.
They end up going Lorenzo Fryer, which is fair.
Yeah, I
Again,
mean, I think it's
bad.
very fair. I mean, is corner their biggest need? No, but they could always improve there. And I do think Lorenzo Fryer is a pretty good corner as well, and a great corner class. 6 foot 188, man-to-man style corner, has very balanced coverage skills. Honestly, very high effort player, good athlete. Does have some problems with the handsiness as well, and poor ball tracking. Um, I don't necessarily think he's a high-end elite player now, but he has a good floor to build off of. Could develop into a higher valued player, but as of now, he's going to give you a better floor than most corners in this class.
I agree. I think Fryer's one of the better corners you could grab here. I like him a little more than Phillips personally, but I think Fryer's just a very well-rounded player, and that 13 can't go wrong with that. But we move on to 14, the Jets, where I will tell you right now, I am also already wrong. I had Kershaw going here. He was a few picks earlier, so what do the Jets do now? I mean, I think corner is definitely still in play, and then I would even say they should be going corner here because they have a need. What do you think?
I think that's very fair. I think corner could definitely be in play, especially when you look at the board. It's been a lot of run of corner here. They could take a Daryl Overstreet, maybe a Delvin McClain, JJ Stringer. There's still a lot of guys on the board here, obviously, but I had them going Colin Bush, the edge rusher. I know they have a pick coming up pretty soon. It really just depends on how they feel about the Browns, Lions, and Ravens. And I feel like, honestly, the Lions and Ravens are more of an edge-needy team, both edge-needy teams. So I feel like maybe they take edge here, corner at 18, and they'd be happy with that. But I think either way, I think they go defense.
No, I do think you're right because I think corner it's a deeper corner class, and at edge, especially if you get Colin Bush, that'd be a dream for them. I think Colin Bush is again a player I really like. I know I've been saying it. All these first round players are good. Whoa, but
I really
no,
like
he's genuinely
these players.
Kind of good. No, but Colin Bush is genuinely really good in my opinion. I think
he's a top 10
well
player
worth his.
In this class.
I agree. He's very much up there, and he's very high end talent. And I don't think there's a good chance he's not there at 18. So I would agree with you, and hopefully, Colin Bush would be a good pick, but also corner, you can't go wrong with it. Go a few different directions. Let's see where New York lands.
Okay.
Delvin McClain.
Interesting.
Okay, I don't. Okay, yeah.
That's interesting. Sure. I'm not sure how I feel about it. I wasn't as high on McLean as some of the other corners, especially ones that are available still. Um, I still think he's very good though. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's interesting.
I'm there with you. Yeah, I think McLean has a lot of upside. And you could definitely I like where he is as an athlete and his agility and his movement skills. Um, yeah, walk us through him, I guess, real quick, and
Sure.
let people decide.
Yeah, so Wyoming product here, 5'10", 207, so might project more as a slot corner here in New York, but he reminds me of Kamari Lassiter a lot in his size and skill set. He's very elite, fluid hips, as we like to say. He's very fluid. Like he's gonna be able to flip with the receiver whenever they're cutting on a route very well. Has good coverage and tackling abilities. Does have the same issues like a lot of these corners in this class with the poor ball tracking and being a little bit too handsy in the pass interference realm. Um, I just think he doesn't have the upside. I think, especially with size, that some players do. I think he can be a really awesome slot corner though, nickel corner, with his fluidity,
Yeah,
and his coverage is still pretty good. So I do think he absolutely could play really good football for the Jets. But I think he would be best suited as a slot.
I agree. This very much does give me the impression of a nickel corner
Yeah,
because yeah, he does have good balls. He's he's good as getting himself in position to make plays on the ball. I know he's not the greatest at tracking the football, but as a nickel, you can kind of more rely on your that fluidity, those movement skills you were talking about,
yeah,
and
and
you know
tackling.
you know you're not
He's
worried
really
about
good.
tracking the ball downfield as much, and yes, tackling is also a big part of that. Because also I think if you play outside, I mean 5'10", you can there are outside corners that can get away with that kind of height, but it just opens the door to you getting bullied downfield by bigger receivers, and
Yeah,
ultimately it just doesn't. I think nickel is just really where he would shine. I
yeah.
actually absolutely agree with you, and yeah, but pick 15 here for Cleveland. I had them. I got a little spicy here. I
Mm,
had them going Perry Nails
okay.
out of NC State. I think interior is a need for sure, and hey, I'm a little high on Perry Nails. I quite like Perry Nails. I think it would be a reach in this position, but I think it's just a position they need, and it's a good player.
Yeah, I mean that's very fair. I actually had very similar line of thinking, just different guard. I went with Kendall Gibson out of UCLA. Yeah, I think interior line is their biggest probably hole at the moment. So, um, definitely think guard could be a pick here. Um, but we'll see. I do think that their O line still has work though to improve on.
Definitely. Let's see where Cleveland decides to go.
Ooh,
They go Clyde
okay,
Taylor. Okay. So
very interesting.
yeah, I wasn't really thinking D tackle here. I just
No.
didn't. I think they had bigger needs, but walk us through Clyde Taylor actually.
Yeah, I
Is
mean,
he
I still think Clyde Taylor is a very good player as well, and I do think like you pair him up with Mason Graham and also Miles Garrett, of course. So I do think that's a very interesting pick. They're really just trying to build on that strength that they already have um,
yeah.
already. And what I saw with him, he's a more of a stout nose tackle type, 6'2", 300 pounds. Um, Reminds me actually of Milton Williams, who I mentioned earlier. Um, he's a really great athlete, actually. Very smart, has a good floor to build off of. Has some tackling and discipline concerns and injury concerns as well. I kind of described him as a bull in a china shop type of player, where his athleticism is he's a little out of control sometimes, and he just needs to be reeled in. And I think he could be really good if under the right coaching. And I think in Cleveland with that D line especially that he can uh, hone that in and make it a more controlled chaos. So I think it's a good pick. I just don't think it's the biggest need, but I still think you're taking a really good player here, regardless.
Can't go wrong with Clyde Taylor. Yeah, I think there were bigger needs, of course, but I think I think you can get away with it. I think you get away with it. He's a really good athlete. He's one of the better D tackles in this class. And we'll move on to pick number 16 with Detroit. But so what do you see maybe Detroit going here at
Yeah,
16?
so this is where I had Nate Hayward going. Um, so definitely a little off on that part, but I do think edge is a big need, probably their biggest need. Still trying to find the guy on the opposite side of Aiden Hutchinson. Um, it's really that or center, and I think you could take center here. You could go with Carter Griffith. It might be a little early, but at the same time, that's their biggest hole, probably on their entire team. And I think Carter Griffith is very, very good. So I think it'd be worth it, but it really just depends on which do they value more, that edge or that center spot.
It's fair. I actually went a bit of a different direction. I thought that corner was definitely in play for this Lions team. I mean, DJ Reed he's age he's old. I really know that. And they have Terry and Arnold, but behind them doesn't really have much in terms of current great corners on the roster. They have a young guy in Chandler Rivers and all that, but I just think the corner class is really good. Take advantage of it and get a guy. And I went with Daryl Overstreet out of Nebraska. Of course, they could go. There's a plethora of corners. It's really difficult to pin down. It's team to team. It really depends on which one you like. Um, Overstreet's definitely in play, but I agree. I think that they have a few other ways they could go about this if they want to shore up that spot across Aiden Hutchinson or um, otherwise. So let's see what they decide at pick 16. They do go Daryl Overstreet. Okay. Give give you a breakdown on that. Give me one moment. Is Cameron here?
Hello? Yes.
Okay, you're alive.
Yeah, no,
Awesome.
I was just noticing something.
Alrighty,
in my,
everyone's. I think you're good.
Yeah,
I was
no,
just worried you're.
Yeah, no, I was I was
good.
confused on why my Streamlabs just was stuck at 24 minutes, like the counting. It still recorded everything. It was just like it just froze at the 24-minute whatever second mark. So I was just like, what? Did it not record the past like 20 minutes of draft stuff?
Yeah.
But no, it did. So we're good.
So
Um,
we're good.
but yeah, you're right. Very interesting pick. How do you feel about this with his pro?
So yeah, Daryl Overstreet. I like Daryl Overstreet. I think he obviously has all the athleticism you can ask for. He's 5'11", so just a little bit shorter, but 5'11", still a solid size for a corner. 197. He's balanced coverage, so you can get both sides of man and zone. Plays the ball very well. And yeah, so he's just a great athlete with a high floor. He has that smaller frame, which I think is why he slid a little bit. Of course, similar situation with Delvin McClain, who we talked about. But yeah, no, I think he's great tracking and ability to be in the right position at the right time. Could be a nickel, but he could. I think he's a little more capable of getting outside. I like him a little bit more as an outside with his ability to track the ball. But nickel would, I think he'd also slot right in there and hang with the guys.
Yeah, I think that's fair, and I think especially with DJ Reed being kind of more of a slot nickel player, I feel like he could fill in for an outside corner on the other side of Terry on Arnold, at least until DJ Reed leaves, and maybe he slides inside if he feels like he fits better there. But I do see the vision there with that pick. I think it's a solid pick.
Right. Yeah, you get versatility. I think he could flip flop. You could change it based on down and distance and formation and all that. So I like that pick for Detroit. Okay, pick number 17 here, the Baltimore Ravens. I will say right now, I had them going edge, getting Juan Alonso out of South Carolina. I just think they need some juice on that D line, quite simply.
Yeah, I am actually in complete agreement with you there. That is the exact same player and position I had in mind. Not necessarily that I'm super high on Alonso. I don't think he's bad by any means, but I do think it's more of a need, and I think he gives you enough potential there to bet on at edge.
For sure. Yeah, I think 17 is to make perfect sense, and it would be a good team fit for sure. But let's see what they do, and they are going Colin Bush, which
fair,
valid, because I think he is better than
Absolutely.
Juan Alonso. So I actually think this is a win for the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah, yeah.
Go ahead. You want to walk us through Colin Bush?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I forgot that Bush was on the board still, but yeah, this is definitely a much
Same.
better player at this spot. I mean, again, I like Alonso, but I just think Colin Bush is a top 10 player in this class. Alonso just isn't. Yeah, looking at him, if I can find his profile here. There we are. Yeah, he's 6'3", 252, just a speed rusher archetype. Obviously a great athlete with his size. He's very smart, an elite speed rusher. Just does have that run defense concern, along with some injury past history. Kind of reminds me of Travon Walker a little bit. But I think you know you have him and Mike Green. I do think they're kind of similar players, which is good and bad. I think we've seen that success work for certain teams like the Steelers with kind of getting the same types of speed rushers with, you know, T.J. Watt, Alex Highsmith, Nick Herbig, and Jack Sawyer, all kind of being similar archetypes. It works, you know, because they can learn from each other and build. But sometimes you are going to have those issues where you're lacking an area, which would be run defense, I think, in this spot. And it's also power game. You might get have some struggles with those bigger tackles. But I do think he's a great player. And I think his athleticism and technique for his speed rush is one of the best in the draft here. So great pick for the Ravens.
Fair enough. Okay, well, let's go on to pick number 18. The Jets once again. This is their third first round pick, and what do you think they're gonna do here? They grab Jordan Hawkins at 9.
Yeah,
they get Dalvin McClain at 14. What do they do here at 18?
Yeah, you know, it's interesting. I didn't even realize is that I actually had them taking Jordan Watkins here at 18, so I guess that's a half win.
There you go.
But yeah, they took D tackle, they took corner, and based on what else they really need, I think edge is probably the pick here. So maybe like a Juan Alonso could make sense. I could also see maybe they like Huffman more. But I do think there's time. Their time is running out if they want an edge rusher, because I mean, there's not too many guys worth taking here at 18. They might have to just wait for round 2. But I would say edge rusher.
Yeah, clock's ticking, and they waited on the edge, which I think is I think the edge it did obviously slide. I think Colin Bush would have been a better pick at 14, and then getting a corner here at 18, but with the way the board has fell, I think you could get Huffman. That's who I projected. Of course, everything else happened differently, but you're still landing in a situation where I think you get Huffman. Holland Alonso would be a good pick here as well. Honestly, either of those two guys would be good. I think getting an edge would be big, but let's see if the Jets disagree.
Okay.
They do. So they grab.
Oh, wow, that's a pick.
They grab a tackle. Well, I'll walk us through Manny Baden. So I know some people are a little higher on him than others.
Than us.
See, Mr. Yeah, then I guess than us. Sure. Yeah. Let me find him real quick. Yeah, Manny Baden. So I quite like Baden. So I think he has a high awareness. He's a superb pass blocker, great speed and movement skills. He's amazing versus both finesse and power in that department. Like, he is just all around. He's quick. He has that speedy first step, and he's gonna get his hands on you and make you, play physical and outplay him. He seals the edge very well. A true and tried blindside protector that fends off pass rushers with remarkable poise and technique, regardless of type. High awareness and ball IQ. He's very disciplined. He does lack an anchor in the run game and often gets pushed around when trying to make space. And he's not terribly strong, and that's something you want out of a tackle. That's why I don't think he was the best tackle in this class, but I have him pretty high in my my assessment. But I know you feel differently.
Yeah, no, I don't think he's that good. I think he's a day 3 potential guy. Honestly, I don't see the upside with his with how he looks as a player, honestly. And I do see that it simmed another pick, so I don't know if you accidentally simmed it again.
I think is maybe because they're on autopilot,
yes,
so they're automatically making picks.
Yes, very good call. So I guess we can move quickly to that then.
Yeah, quickly on to Parker Cunningham. I think we might feel a little similarly about. I'm not a big fan of Cunningham. Not a big fan of Cunningham. I think he's good. I just don't think he's first round talent. I think he's definitely a better back half of first, maybe second round pick. Do you want to walk us through him?
Yeah, I think it's like a slight reach. I'm higher on him than I think you are. I actually do think he's fine here. I think he's a better pick than Manny Bodden. Um, I had the Battlehawks taking tackle, by the way. I had him taking. Oh, no, that's you. Sorry. I had them taking Carter Griffith, the center. I just thought they needed O line, and I had Parker Cunningham going way earlier. So, uh, but yeah, I'll talk through his profile real quick once I get back to the tackles here. Let's scroll all the way back up. Um, where is he at? Cunningham. Yeah. So here's the thing. He's a huge player. He is an absolute athlete. Um, just a big 6'7", 329, 21 years old, powerful player, kind of a Monroe Freeling type. His elite strength, high awareness, and great athleticism. He's just a behemoth with a high motor. Has he's very raw. That's the biggest thing. He's a very raw prospect with great size and athleticism to build on. Has some major injury concerns, but I think he's more of a project, which is interesting because he's going to a team where they need him to play left tackle immediately. Uh,
Yeah.
but I still think he could develop. Um, I actually like his ceiling. I think he has a great potential here. Um, just it's going to be interesting if it's going to work well for the Battlehawks because of
I
their
think that's
team.
just a difference of preference because I like the reason I like Bobden so much is he is just a great pass blocker. It doesn't really matter how everything turns out. He could be terrible against the run and he could be a bust because of that, but he's a great pass protector on the blind side, at least from everything we've seen and we have every reason to believe he'll be good against the pass. Whereas Parker Cunningham is very raw, as you said, but Cunningham definitely has more upside. Like if these, but either both of those players reach their max potential, Cunningham will be considerably better than Bodden, I think, just with the ceiling and where he could end up. But for the Battlehawks, they kind of needed difference makers now.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
I think tackle's the right pick, and Cunningham could end up being very good, but it might just be a bit of a slow start for him.
yeah. I think that's fair. And then moving to the Chargers pick, which we can actually talk about this time before the pick happening. Um, this is an interesting one. I think they could go a lot of different ways here. I don't know. It's interesting because I do feel like my pick is probably not right. I think I was initially going JJ Stringer. I think they could use improvement at corner, but at the same time, man, their O line could be the best in the league if they bring in Carter Griffith right now. That's their only hole on center. It's just the center. Everything else is very good on that line. So I could see that too. But what did you think the Chargers were going to do here?
I had a good feeling about defensive tackle. I think that at 20, this about feels right for this Chargers team. That I just think they could use some juice. I think O line is especially the center position as you said could definitely use an upgrade. But you know I think they could also use an upgrade at defensive tackle because I
I
don't
think that's
think
fair.
you're too confident in Elijah Chapman playing. Of course, they have Caden McDonald, who's great, and I think grabbing a guy like Jordan Watkins, of course, he's not on the board, but getting just a high ceiling defensive tackle to pair alongside McDonald, you can have a very nice
Yeah.
interior, which is what really the Chargers have been lacking the last few
Yeah.
years.
I think the issue is I don't know what D tackle they would take here. So I
Fair.
like some of the D tackles on the board. There's no more first round projected guys. I don't know if they're worth taking here at 20. So I think they
I
might go elsewhere.
yeah, I don't know. The D tackle room has gotten pretty thin here for first round projections, but we'll see what they decide to do at 20. They go Brad
Okay.
Kelly. Oh, okay.
All
All
right.
right. Well,
Fair enough. I mean, I saw it was in the mock 5. I didn't think it was going to be as big of a need, but um they really like Brad Kelly and I can't blame him. He's a very good player. You want to talk us through?
yes, I love Brad Kelly. Love the tight ends. Big love here. Brad Kelly, yeah. So this guy out of Boise State, 6'6", 245. He is a tall man. He's 21 years old. Vertical threats. I gave him the pro look of George Kittle. He's just phenomenal hands, catches the ball very consistently and dominant in traffic. Athletic freak of nature, exceptional speed and quickness at the tight end position. Just a great route runner downfield. Exceptional blocker in run and pass pro, high awareness. So he's not just like those hybrid tight ends you see that lack blocking. He can stay in line and basically be 6 offensive linemen that run a route and cook a linebacker and top a safety. I mean, he's just everything you could ask for at tight end. And I had him evaluated as a top 5 prospect. Really, I think he was just genuinely that good, in my opinion. And if I had a pick there, I probably I was considering it for a second at 6. I'll be honest, but
Wow. Yeah.
there are. I mean, of course, you do have concentration, a little bit of a concentration issue with some drops, and he's a little undisciplined, gets a little rowdy, and draws some undisciplined penalties. But I mean, aside from that, you're just getting a freak. So I think it's a great pick for the Chargers. I wasn't expecting it, but
Yeah.
I
Can't be mad
definitely
at
think
it.
it's can't be mad at it. I mean, I know they've Gavs and all that, but I think the player's good enough, which he is. That Brad Kelly can't go wrong with that. But they'll definitely have some other questions on their roster to fill. But moving on to 21 here with the Steelers, walk us through what you have
Yeah.
Pittsburgh doing here.
Yeah. I mean, they're an interesting team. I feel like they don't have a ton of huge glaring holes. I think quarterback is their biggest need. Um, And in the grand scheme of things, that could still be in play here with Kilgore falling. I know Boston had risen up the board, and maybe he could be in play. I did not have him going that way. I had him going strong safety because I think Deshaun Elliott's getting older, and I think they could definitely use some more upside there, especially with who is available. And my pick for them is Sam Burris, the strong safety, who I feel like fits perfectly in that Steelers defense. How about you, though?
I did have him going quarterback. I went with Jason Boston because I thought the other quarterback would be off the board. I guess the other 2 quarterbacks, I should say. But yeah, I just think you have to upgrade the quarterback position. It's really what you made the playoffs with Spencer Rattler. Congratulations. I don't think you can keep it that way. I think you need to get a quarterback. There's some good guys on the board. Be a slight reach, but I think I think Kilgore would be the better quarterback here. I don't know. I really like Boston. I personally might like Boston a bit more, but I think Kilgore is maybe just the better player starting out if you're just gonna start a quarterback. But I think you could go either way. So I will have to see how they decide to do this, and it's gonna be fun. Bryce Kilgore.
Okay.
Okay, so
Wow.
they do take their quarterback with the maybe a bit of a slide on Kilgore, but I think also we could have kind of seen it coming with just
Yeah.
it was Ortiz was definitely QB1, and then where does the rest of these guys fall? Not sure, but yeah,
Yeah.
Kilgore at 21 is interesting.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't even really hate this pick for them. I don't think I would have felt good if they took Boston here. At all, actually. I'm not super high on Kilgore necessarily. I had him ranked 38 on my big board. Um, and obviously, maybe a reach in that sense, but at the same time, quarterback's a different prospect when you're looking at where they're graded. Usually, they are going to be a lower uh, standard of player initially, and then you can really develop them into a really high potential player. Um, I'm still not sure about Kilgore as a player, but I think if you're gonna take a quarterback and ride with this team, which is already pretty well rostered here, I think Kilgore is a better shot than Spencer Rattler. You want to talk us through
Definitely.
Kilgore as a player?
Sure. Let's give you a breakdown on Mr. Bryce Kilgore. He is short, 5'11". He given the pro comp of a small Jameis Winston. He's 21 years old, out of Tennessee, and he's highly accurate up and down the field. He has a strong arm that can unload passes deep. Stands tall in the pocket, even though he isn't. Aware of pressure and exceeds at handling it. Good in play action and throwing off platform. Does have a slow throwing motion and a lack of athleticism outside of his arm. He tested poorly in his ball IQ, concerningly poorly, and not acclimated to running NFL complexity offenses. And there's some injury concerns, and he tries to get out of the pocket. Like he wants to go out there and make plays, but his athleticism holds him back. And he displayed impressive accuracy in college, and he has an arm capable of delivering powerful passes with gusto. He has a knack for understanding and feeling pressure, and releases the ball with deadly precision and on-time accuracy. It's just again that slow throwing motion release, and his lack of awareness, high hand athleticism, and just kind of reliant on his arm and on his sense of pressure and his just feels the game the right way. He just doesn't see the game the right way. He's got to get better at reading defenses and all of the intangibles.
Yeah, I think that's very fair. It's gonna be interesting to see how he does there in Pittsburgh. Definitely should be interesting. But at pick 22, the Cardinals are on the clock here. I think they have a very interesting team. I feel like they've actually filled a lot of their holes. They do have a few gaping holes, as we like to see on our ends, at least. Cardinals really could use a guard, could really use a linebacker, could still upgrade at corner. And I think with who's available, I think corner is absolutely in play. There's still a couple of those first round potential corners. I don't think linebacker makes sense. The best ones are will linebackers, and they already have a good will with Mac Wilson. So really it comes down to maybe guard, where I think they could improve either side. And Perry Nails, Kendall Gibson, and Tim Connor, all three of the first round potential guards are still on the board. I had them taking Tim Connor because he was available. Although I could totally see them going Kendall Gibson, who I'm higher on, and I had him going higher to the Browns. So I think this is going to be a guard, though.
That's fair. I do like the corner projection, and I just think that there's more talents there, and there's more upside there. The guards, there's some good guards, and I like Nails, and I like the rest of the guys in that group, but I ultimately ended up going with Fryer. Of course, he isn't on the board anymore, so it's going to be someone else. But I like the corner projection. But I think guard is also just something they need to upgrade. So I think it would be good for them to get guard over corner at this position. But I think corner is definitely in play for what they might do here and how they might see the board. But there's no way of knowing until we send this pick. So let's see. They
There it
do go
is.
Kendall Gibson. There you go. It's a
Yeah.
good call out there, and I think that's a perfect player for a perfect position of need. Go ahead and walk us through Kendall Gibson.
Yeah, I mean, I actually thought he was the best guard in the class, to be honest with you. I really liked what I saw with him. Let me get to his thing here. Yeah, so he's 6'5", 315, agile, good size, elite athlete, high IQ. Great against speed, the speed rushing game. Obviously has some weakness in the run blocking side of things, and his stamina is a little concerning. Um, but I think he just has a really good technique floor. And his size and athleticism can really just prove to make him maybe a really just a top 10 guard in the league if he really puts it all together. Um, yeah, I think he just moves so well. Kind of reminds me of Elijah Vera Tucker, and with how he plays. And I think in that Cardinals group, I think they really need line. So especially guard, I think that improving that for Mendoza is going to be huge. So I like that pick a lot for them. Moving on to the Bengals pick at 23. This is an interesting pick. Where did you think they would go here?
I actually had them going Gibson right
Okay.
here. So he gets picked before. Interior O-line is a desperate need. I think there are plenty of players here. Perry Nails. I'm personally higher on Perry Nails, and I think it's just a difference again of philosophy. I think a guard needs to be good at run blocking, or else they aren't a good guard. Of course, that's not always true, but I think that it's really important to be a good anchor, and what Nails lacks in speed, he makes up for in aggressiveness. And I think Perry Nails would be an excellent pick here for the Bengals. But what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting spot here. I think one of those guards available could make a ton of sense. I could see them maybe taking an edge, could go corner. This is one I'm not really sure looking back on. I think it's probably going to be more of a guard pick, but I had them going to Deshaun Hackett, the will linebacker out of UCF. Their linebackers are so poor. And I think, honestly, Deshaun Hackett is a very good prospect who I think probably won't get drafted as highly as he actually is talent-wise just because of positional value.
That's fair. I like Deshaun Hackett quite a lot as well. So would not be a bad pick whatsoever. Let's see where the Bengals decide to go. They go Sam Burris. Okay.
I love that pick for them. I know that was in mock 5. I had him going earlier. Yeah, I'll go over this one here because I really am a big fan of Sam Burris. If I didn't have safeties filled already, I would have absolutely been content.
You would have filled him.
I mean, yeah, maybe. Sam Burris is awesome, man. He is a special type of athlete. Once I get down here, he's 6'1", 219. Just an elite athlete. He ran I believe a 4.32 at the combine, which I think was one of the best in the league or in his class. Super high IQ, great in coverage, great run defender. Really doesn't have many weaknesses other than his potential availability with injuries and just stamina to stay on the field at his top level. He just has all those tools to put together and to be an elite safety. And honestly, I project him as being a long-time top 10 safety in the league, possibly.
Wow.
And I had him compared to Minkah Fitzpatrick. I think he just is very well-rounded in all factors and can, if he can just put it all together there in Cincinnati, I think that would be a great pick. And I think that's a great pick for a team that still needs to improve their defense for sure, and they get a potential leader there.
Very fair. Sam Burris is an awesome player. And I think Cincinnati could use help on defense. So I think it all works out. So at pick 24 here for the 49ers, I had them going BJ Radigan. I think tackle. Of course, they need their Trent Williams. They need a guy there on the edge to protect Purdy and keep the run game going. But what do you think?
I was in the same line of thinking, and I do think that probably is likely the pick. I had him going Manny Bodden here, but he went way earlier than I think he should have. But that's on again completely different discussion. Yeah, I think their O-line really needs the improvement for sure. I honestly wouldn't be a bad shout to go maybe Perry Nails too. I know they need left guard as well, but I think tackle is just a more dire need with Trent Williams retiring in the offseason.
Sure. Yeah, I agree. So let's see what they. I almost clicked next user pick. I'm gonna be so honest.
You need okay, and this was also in the mock 5. I think this is also a good pick. They don't necessarily need safety, but it's definitely not a strong part of their team at all. So this is going to be an upgrade. And I'll talk about him as well because I was really high on all of these safeties in this class, these first round projected guys. Dalton Beach, 6'2", 210 out of Auburn. Just a great athlete with great size, great against the run, good coverage ability. His change of direction is limited with his stiff hips, but some availability issues as well. But I think just combining his athleticism and his build and just his technique as well, and versatility. He can play all over the field like a kind of a Kyle Hamilton-esque player, but not obviously. He's more of an athlete in that way. I would compare him more to a Derwin James. I think he thrives closer to the line of scrimmage, closer to the ball, but he can obviously play over top if you need him to. He can cover one-on-one if you need him to against tight ends and running backs, but I think he's a player who's going to be able to be very versatile for that Niners defense, and I think he's a great player.
I like Dalton Beach as well. Yeah, I think he does have like upside to even kind of, of course, playing strong safety. You can kind of play kind of nickel-esque reps.
Yeah.
And you can also literally just play him at nickel. I think he plays his best ball downfield, getting down, downhill. Just running towards the scrimmage on blitzes, run defense. But I think he's also just very well-rounded. So he can cover for sure. He can play smaller, faster receivers. and stay on them. So I like the Beach pick for the Niners. They're getting a great player at a great position. So heading over to pick 25 here for the Dallas Cowboys. I actually had them going Dalton Beach, so that's one pick too early, unfortunately, for little old me.
Yeah.
But so yeah, now I guess that situation changes for Dallas. How do you think they're going to handle this?
Yeah, this one's interesting. I initially, this was a last minute change. I initially had them going um, Beach as well, but I realized I left this guy off my mock on accident. He was the guy that I forgot to highlight when I was looking back, and that's Josh Springs. I think they could absolutely use a safety. He's the last of the three big safeties in this class, and I think he's equally as great as those other two. I think all three of them are very great players, and I think he would be a huge help there in Dallas. So I think they could still go safety, but they have other needs, obviously. Could go left tackle, could go D tackle, could go linebacker. Um, but I think just talent wise, I think you're taking Springs here. But
I agree. Best player available, get the safety, and then Springs. I had him going way earlier, so I think
Yeah.
definitely Springs to the Cowboys would make a perfect sense. But there are other places they could go, so let's see where they decide to take it.
and there it is.
They do go Springs. There you go. So that's a good shout.
And I'll just keep talking about the
Keep
safeties,
going for
I
these
guess.
safeties, man. These are
I mean,
all you.
This is the position I was most passionate about because I had started with them, but also they're just three really great players. This guy, a little smaller than the other two, 5'11", 204. But I think he's more of that. He's the safety that really can play in that single high extremely well. He's an exceptional athlete, very rangy in coverage, very intelligent, can see the field very well, very aggressive playmaker. Does need to work on his tackling, and then availability is the biggest question mark he has. And I think just the combination of his IQ, his ability to diagnose the plays, his physical and aggressive play style, and his just pure range that he can play to reminds me a lot of Troy Polamalu, which is high praise, very high praise.
Mm-hmm.
But the way he can just play the field, the entire field, feels his presence. And I think he can have that type of impact there in Dallas. And I think that's an incredible pick for them. One of my favorites of the draft so far.
Yeah, I think it's exceptional value at 25 for a player who I think should have been top 15 at least.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, he was my where is he even at here? He's my sixth best player in the class in my top 50. I had him at 6. He is my sixth valued player. You had him at 14. So
yeah.
We both thought he was very, very good and should have been taken higher, but obviously positional value plays a factor. But pick 26, Raiders are up. What do you think the Raiders pick here?
Warner. I had him going Eric Phillips, who obviously went way earlier. So I whiffed on that, but I think corner is still in play.
Oh yeah.
I think it's honestly wait. Yes. I thought yeah. Sorry. Brain fart. Okay. No, but yeah, corner's definitely in play for the Raiders. And yeah, I think they could definitely go get themselves a corner upgrade.
Yeah,
I was about to start talking about the Commanders' corner room. Like I thought, I got it completely mixed up. It was funny, but good.
That was a while ago. Yeah, I mean, I think that's very fair. I think they could definitely go that route. Excuse me. Definitely could go that route. I mean, they have some other needs too. I would have said safety could have been in play as well, but they don't have that option anymore. Really, receiver is really not a spot that they could address here. So really, I'm looking at O-line, I think was the spot I was looking at. I do think that left guard could be a shot here with Nails still on the board. Would be a good pick. Although I do have them going Max Farley here at right tackle. I think it's a bigger need. I'm not as big of a fan as Farley as I am Nails, but, value for a tackle is higher than a guard. So that's
fair.
Where
I like Nails a lot, and I think he'd be, again, a great value at 26 here, but let's see if the Raiders agree and where they decide to go. They do go Max Farley, so yeah, you're hitting some of these picks down the board. Definitely better than I am because I had that one snipe to Daryl Overstreet, and that's been about it. It's been pretty quiet here.
Well, no, I've had a lot of bad picks too, to be honest. Between 8 and 24, it's been.
I think the trade up. I mean, to be fair, that changes a lot.
It did.
I think the trade up was
It definitely
Spicy.
did. I've had 2 in a row though. But do you want to talk about Max Farley?
Yeah, Max Mother Lovin Farley. Let me find him for you here, down the corner. Max Farley. There's so many corners. We have so many corners in this
He's
draft.
a right tackle, buddy.
Oh wait, what the hell?
You're because you thought he was gonna take.
I'm thinking
corner.
Caleb Farley. I told you about this. I was Caleb Farley. Damn, Caleb Farley.
No,
he
he's
was my
dead
head.
and out of the league, man. He's done.
Dude, he's in my head. Caleb
Yeah.
Farley lives in my head. Oh
Get out
my
of my
god, he's a
head.
fucking sleep paralysis demon. What am I doing? Max Farley. Here we go. Okay. So, all right. Max Farley is. I mean, he's a pretty good athlete. I mean, he handles business. He's a great pass blocker with high IQ, comparable to the likes of maybe Brian O'Neill if he were to reach his full potential. I mean, Max Farley just puts away edge defenders with his athleticism and lateral movement. His mobility allows him to get hands on pass rushers with urgency. His floor is lower in terms of blocking, but there is upside, and there's quite a bit of it. I think you could definitely get a pretty good player. I did have him talent evaluated as around 2 to 3, so I don't think he's an amazing tackle. I think he definitely, is slightly higher than I would have taken him, but I think positionally, not a bad pick at all for the Raiders, getting themselves a tackle and a pretty solid one.
Yeah, I think that's very fair. And moving on to the Eagles pick here, I don't know. This is a tough team because they have very few holes, if any. You could maybe debate them taking safeties over Makuba. Maybe they prepare for the tight end future with Dallas Goedert getting older at 32, and they don't really have anyone else on the roster as well. I had them taking Brad Kelly. He's gone, so I mean I could still see tight end, but really they could just take best player available and be happy, to be honest.
Are you see a Jeremiah Baker in their future?
I could. I don't know if they will though.
Fair. I personally, I went with edge, and that's pretty debatable because I think obviously there's Nolan Smith, they have Joey Bosa and Akeem Mesidor. Because I don't necessarily agree with an edge pick, but I just think that there was upside here at 27, and I went with Taj Parker, but I think they definitely have more needs. It's just hard because this team is also just loaded.
Yeah.
So it's hard to really find a place in it specifically that they need help. I think tight end is definitely in play, but I just don't know. I truly couldn't tell you how they value these prospects, and maybe we'll just have to see here at 27. They go to the center,
okay.
Carter Griffith. Okay.
I will say that is a really good pick. Maybe not value wise for them, but I really like Carter Griffith. Do you wanna talk through him?
Yeah, let me talk through Carter Griffith to find him. He is not a corner, by the way.
No, he is not.
He's not a corner.
And just looking to see, I will say, I mean, Cam Jurgens is their current starting center. He's 28. He's not the best player, so I actually don't hate this pick for them. As an upgrade. I think
that it should be an upgrade for sure, and you should have definitely take the job from him pretty soon, if not immediately. He is a premier center with great athleticism and great potential. I mean, you had a glowing review on him, and it was hard to really. It's not hard to see why. He's a great athlete, great run blocker, good pass blocker. He's a dude. He's an absolute dude. You compared him to Tyler Linderbaum, and I mean he's 21, so he's young and experienced at center. And his only issue is stamina. So he might see his hands on his knees occasionally, just like trying to catch his breath. But ultimately, I still think he's a great player and a little bit of strength and conditioning. A few meetings with a strength and conditioning coach will get him right.
Yeah. I really think that's a pretty good pick for them. But now your real life favorite team, the Buffalo Bills, are up. What do you have them doing here?
Well, I've had this happen again. I had them going Carter Griffith at 28. I thought it would have been an awesome pick for him. You need center, but because we talked about the Cedric Van Pran Granger is currently their starting center, so I was that's really rough. That's really rough for Buffalo, and probably why Philly took him, because he knew that they weren't. I mean, he wasn't getting any farther than the Bills, I would assume. But I don't know. Center is really a big need for them. But now,
I would argue not. You were looking at the depth chart, and that's probably the issue, is because they have Connor McGovern as their starting center, and
did
he's
they
good.
extend Connor McGovern in this life and
Yes,
existence?
yes.
They did.
So
Oh,
they currently don't have
okay.
a right guard, which is why initially I was high on maybe them taking a right guard, but I had to change it last minute. I was wrong. I had Dalton Beach, but I could see this being a right guard.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good shot. I didn't know they extended Connor McGovern, so that's good
Yeah.
for them. Yeah, no, he gets his stuff going there. And why don't you? Yeah, do they just don't have a guard then?
They have no right guard. They have no right guard.
Yeah, so guard would be nice. Perry Nails would be awesome for the Bills. I would
Perry
love that
Nails, Tim Connor,
for
both
Buffalo.
available.
Tim Connor would be awesome.
Could make
Yeah.
sense. They could also still use a strong safety. I know Mach 5 had them taking a second or third round guy that we have not really looked into at all. They could use linebacker. I also initially had them maybe taking a linebacker to sit behind and learn from Milano for his like last year or two with the Bills. But I think if you're looking for immediate starter, it's guard. Absolutely.
Yeah, so I guess we will have to see how the Bills decide to manage this pick. And they go with this.
Okay.
They reach on the center. They want a center.
Yeah, I mean,
So this doesn't.
you'll say they reached, but man, I was looking at the center. That guy, Joey Ramos, looks awesome. We have no notes on him, but I was looking at him. I was like, man, this is a really good player. If he's there, I mean, could be a good pick down the board for a team. He was not projected to go this high.
Yeah, no, and I mean, so okay, well, why'd they extend McGovern then? Wait, I'm so.
Well,
So the
well,
center pick ends up being correct, but what is the
yeah.
play?
I mean, my guess is that one of them probably moves over to guard.
Yeah,
To fill that guard spot. Because I mean, hey, if they feel better about one of the either Ramos or McGovern moving to guard than the other staying at center versus
McGovern has
getting a
played guard.
guard. Yeah, so maybe
Yeah,
they just feel more comfortable with that and keeping Joey Ramos at center instead of taking in one of the two guards available. Maybe they just like Ramos more, and I mean that's fair. I think he looks probably. I thought he maybe looked on paper as a better player. I didn't look too far into him, but I think he maybe was a better lineman than those two guards available. But again, I couldn't tell you. I didn't do enough research on him. But that's rare that we don't get any. We usually cover our bases with like 53 players or so. It's rare that we don't see any notes on these players that get drafted in the first round. But I know at 29, I think we're on the same page with the Broncos. They're a team that are also very stacked, but they have one glaring hole on their team at tight end. And I think
Yep.
we both had Jeremiah Baker at 29 out of Michigan State. And I think it'd be a great pick.
we mocked them at tight ends at midseason. We're gonna mock them at tight end here. It's just that, of course, the other tight end, Brad Kelly, isn't making it to 29. So Jeremiah Baker would be a pretty good option. I like him quite a bit. And let's see if Denver agrees. No, they're going with Moore.
Okay, I thought this was
Interesting
surefire.
Yeah, interesting and poor in my opinion. I don't like this pick for them. I think JJ Stringer is walk us through JJ Stringer. Give us a
Yeah, I mean,
give us a look.
I don't necessarily know if they needed corner, but I do think JJ Stringer is good. Obviously, very strong corner class. I do think the tight end maybe would have been a better fill there, but I mean, hey, tough to say. But looking at JJ Springer, they probably fell in love with his size, which I get. I mean, he has a very good potential, high ceiling here. 6'3", 208 out of Michigan. He's with that great size. He's also an elite man corner. He's a good athlete. Does struggle with the handsiness and the poor ball tracking that some of the other corners do in this class. And he struggles in the play diagnosis as well. But I do think, honestly, he could have that potential to be one of the better corners in the league with his elite man coverage and size. Reminds me a bit of a Sauce Gardner type. And I know that's high praise, but I do think he's a really good player. I just don't know if it's the right team fit, at least initially. I think he could play. I'm not really sure outside. I mean, Pat Surtain is obviously great. and to learn from him would be really be awesome. I guess he's actually in a good spot to maybe be corner too. I didn't even think about it.
Yeah, I don't
Right.
know because I really like Jade Barron's upside as a player, and I guess if anything, I would push Riley Moss out the door.
Yeah, and they just re-signed him,
It's
but
just
I mean, yeah, he's more of a zone corner. He really, and if they want to run more of a man look, then I think I mean, I don't know why they would re-sign Riley Moss, but I do think I think JJ Springer honestly is an upgrade over Riley Moss at the very least. Shade Barron though, I think he could play that nickel role very well.
for sure. And yeah, okay, yeah, maybe I was a little too harsh on it looking at this group now, but I still think that the tight end would have just been a home run for them.
Yeah, I
But
agree.
can't go wrong with the corner, JJ Stringer, and I think he definitely has a lot of upside. So moving on to pick number 30 for Seattle. I mean, of course, whoa, the teams that were in the playing for a Super Bowl and in championship games are good, right? But
Yeah.
no, I mean, it just hardly any weaknesses really. There's like they're at best most of their places like their weaknesses quote unquote are just like average. Like
Yeah.
they have some average spots, and then a lot of the roster is just talent, a lot of
Yeah.
talent all over the board. So where do you have Seattle going here?
Yeah, I was thinking, they could use receiver, they could use edge. I just don't think this is a receiver spot. I think with the edge class, I think it's definitely the pick. I had him going Bradley Huffman. He's still available, but I could totally see this being like a Juan Alonso, who has fallen very far at this point. He's still on the board, but I think it's an edge. What about you?
Sure, I also agree with Edge. It's interesting how this Edge group has fallen. I think there are some guys here, of course, these 1 to 2 projections that are slipping a little bit. I would say Juan Alonso and Bradley Huffman, especially, I think are pretty good players. And I went ahead. I went with Sean Peralta because I had a few edges off the board at this point, but I think that he is, not the best option, obviously, at this point. So, yeah, definitely go get a Huffman or go get one of these guys, a high upside pass rusher to really just bolster this Seahawks defense. Let's see what they decide to do. No, they go
Okay,
guard. Okay, dude, we are getting
interesting.
smacked in the mouth right now.
That is very interesting. You actually were actually along the right line there before I told you that they had Jennings Dunker, but I guess they don't care. They feel like they could improve at guard, and they take Tim Connor
Weird.
there. That's
Weird. Yeah, I
interesting.
don't like that pick. They have Dunker. They have Zabel. Like, where is this guy playing? I center behind Ryan News. I don't know where this guy plays. I don't think you play in a tackle.
No,
Obviously, like I
absolutely
just
not.
don't see a. I don't like that pick really. I don't
Do you
like your
wanna?
guards aren't even that old. It's not
Yeah,
like you're even like both super young guys you just drafted
maybe
two first like
maybe here's the problem. Their owner decided, wait, actually, I need to completely change my opinion on guards not being worth first round picks. Now I'm just gonna only draft guards in the first round. Um,
True, maybe they realize like, hey, if we draft guards in the first round, we win Super Bowls. So
maybe that's true.
maybe that's just
Maybe.
that's what they have to do. So
Yeah.
hey, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah. You wanna
Well,
talk about Tim Connor as a player?
yes, I shall. Let me go ahead and pull him up for you here. It's your offensive lineman. So we gotta find not the defensive lineman. Uh, Here we go. Okay, so yeah, Tim Connor out of Iowa. He is 6'5", 323. He has great strength, great lateral movement. He's a great pulling guard and is able to get downhill and make some moves. Weaknesses though are his power game. So playing against those powerful rushers, he can kind of just lose space, and he has some injury concerns as well. So he's a great guard on the move. He's obviously in the screen game, pulling guards, and then those like shifting alignments that we often see with today's NFL, like protection sets. He could definitely fit in there and be very good. Does need some improvement in his power game and be bulking up his muscles and all that good stuff. But no, I think you got a great player here. And in Connor, you gave him the pro comp of Trey Smith, which I think is fair. I think he could definitely, if he gets everything down, he could be just a great tank, basically, of just moving around and then like a hitman bodyguard esque, escorting receivers and running backs down the field.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Sorry, I just yawned at the very worst time when you were you decided to be silent. I was like, okay, shit. Yeah, no, I don't think it's a it doesn't, it's one of those picks where it's like you feel like a team that has those very few holes should be filling them um at these back end spots, especially when there's players available. But I guess they really like Tim Connor and they weren't sure about Jennings Dunker would be my guess, and I guess that's fair enough. I guess they know more than we do, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure, but at 30, I mean, he's a good player though. I like him. Now at 31, the Jaguars lost the Super Bowl, but do still have a couple glaring needs. I think especially on the O line, you're gonna D tackle, safety, could use a linebacker. Um, what do you think they go here at 31?
I had them snagging a tackle here. I had them snagging a bad one of my least favorite players in the first few rounds of the NFL draft in Enrique Gabriel. Of course, left tackle it's not really like a need. Wait, no, wait. I'm looking at the Vikings. Wow, I was like, they don't
You're a
need
little
tackle. I was trying to like explain it, but I was like, why did I? Yeah, no, but it's the fucking Vikings. I've been all over it today.
yeah.
I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. Yeah, Walker Little. But they want to upgrade left tackle, and Walker Little definitely is not holding a very strong job. But yeah, I'm not a big on Gabriel, but I think positionally they just need left tackle. They just need tackle in general. They just need athletes on the edge. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm in the same boat with you on that thought process. Not with Manuel. I had him going BJ Radigan. I'm still not as high on him, but I do think he's a better player for sure. But honestly, with looking at who's available, Brad Jones, who is still on the board, would be an awesome pick for them to have fall there. I mean, he would be an awesome player there.
Absolutely. You mean you had him mocked very early, right? You had him as top 10 player. I had him. I actually don't know where I had Brad Jones, but I just never put him in my mock. That might be one of those players that snuck past me because he should. I remember rating him very highly. I think I just maybe assumed I put Brad Jones in the mock and never actually put him in the mock.
Yeah, because you highlight. That's probably the one highlight that you had a mistake with, but
that's okay. Well, he's an elite player, so Brad Jones at 31 would be a steal, a home run, and that would be probably the best pick at this position. But let's see if the Jaguars think otherwise.
There it is.
They go Brad Jones. There we go. Home run.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah. You want to talk us through that one?
Brad Jones. No, yeah, I love this guy. So he's probably my favorite tackle outside of Howard. Yeah, I just think, let me go find him for you real quick here. Here's Brad Jones. So out of Clemson, he has the pro comp of Will Campbell. I think he's just a high awareness player with a great discipline and very high motor. He's an athlete with great strength and shiftness, and he's considerably effective as a run blocker with a high ceiling as a pass blocker. His weaknesses, he does, while that pass pro is a high ceiling, there's also a lower floor. He's had some moments where he's been beat in concerning fashion, but he also has some injury concerns. But otherwise, he's just shown a lot of upside, and I think maybe that the reason he slid, of course, was the lower floor at pass blocking. Like, for a blindside tackle, you want to have a good stable floor, and you don't necessarily get that with Brad Jones, but I think he could definitely be a very good pass blocker if he develops.
Yeah, I think that's very fair. Now at pick 32, this is kind of completing the circle of the trade. Obviously, Vikings no longer at 32. I'm at 32. I had them taking Matthew Bright, the center, just because that was what they were mocked in the mock 5. Because I was like, I have no idea. If I don't think they have a center, but they traded up and they took a quarterback. Who did you have the Vikings taking there?
I had them taking Curtis Smith because I thought running back was definitely in play.
Yeah, not quite.
It didn't happen. They traded up. They got the quarterback. So at 32, Dallas, where are you going?
Yeah. You know what? I have no idea. I have no clue.
You're at the same position. 32 position. 1 picks have passed, and
I
you
am.
still have no clue
I
where you're.
mean, the board has not really fallen the way I think I wanted it to. I mean, there's still there are some players. I am gonna make a pick here. I'm not gonna trade. I was considering maybe another trade back. But I think the board has actually fallen fine for me here. I just there's enough players to where I'm not sure where I want to go.
There.
Because I think there's plenty of spots. Like I'm not interested in the edge rushers. I just don't need them. I do think Huffman and Alonso are good players, but I just don't need them. Same thing Wilcox and Peralta and Parker. I'm not a big fan of the tackles on the board. To be honest with you, I really am not a huge fan taking them here. So really, it's like I'm looking at some other positions here. I mean, although I could go with this guy, who I do think is a better. It's tough because there's some really high end talent still available here. Honestly, I'm between like I think 2 players. I think I'm looking at maybe 2 or 3 players. Yeah, I'm gonna make. Oh shoot, man, that's the issue because like I really like this guy more than I actually like the guy. I think. I don't know. It's
When,
tough. It's a tough decision to make here.
when in doubt, take a running back.
No, I don't need one of those. I'm good. Because I really like down the. Oh man, it's like the problem is the positions I'm looking at. I like players down the board maybe more, so I don't know if I really want to take a player there. So honestly, this might be the pick. I know I just signed him, but I run a 4-3. I'm right. I'm not. I need to make sure I am running a 4-3.
That's
Okay.
not good. I'm
Okay.
running a 4-3, right?
I just want to make sure because that changes things a lot. Because if I'm running a 3-4, then I don't really know about taking this guy here. Um, it's funny that I'm doing this again, but in back-to-back. Oh wait, hold on. I do need a guard. Perry Nails is still here. I'm not
Ooh,
high on Perry Nails though. I don't
you're
think he's
not
all
high
that.
on Nail. I
He's
don't all that.
I don't
What?
know. I think he's fine. He's not a
He's
good power
good.
blocker, and
Uh,
for being a good as strong as he is not a good power blocker. Um. Ah. Oh, there's some good players here, man. Like yeah, I no, 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 no. I am gonna take the guy I was looking at,
all right.
and it is going to be back-to-back linebackers. Oh, hold on. Now I'm seeing he's 23 now. Shoot, man.
Uh-oh.
Does that matter though? He
Franchise
does
deciding
look pretty
decisions.
good. His injury is concerning, but it's okay. We are a team built on linebackers. I'm gonna take Deshaun Hack. Oh, hold on. I'm really. I need to look at my hold on. I need to look at my draft picks. Oh wait, no, I pick again pretty
Wow.
soon. So yeah,
Okay.
no, I'm gonna take where did he go? Yes, I'm gonna take Deshaun Hackett here, linebacker out of UCF.
Okay. Yeah, Deshaun Hackett.
Now he's ranked 50th in true talent. Hidden dev, but he's just a freak athlete. I think he's pretty good. I can go over him real quick. Let me find my linebackers. Yeah, so Deshaun Hackett, he's 5'11", 230, so obviously undersized a little bit. But he's just an elite athlete, very smart, great diagnosis, great run defender. Does struggle shedding blocks and is smaller, but he flies around the field. He makes big plays on all levels, but he just does struggle to get off those blocks because of his size. So I think he's a very good player, and I think now my linebacker group is very good. And you see the center, Matthew Bright, they fill that hole finally. The Kings do, and they take him, and I think that's a good pick there. We are gonna not go as slow for the rest of the draft here. We'll just like talk about a couple guys notably. Will Wiggins is a guy who we liked the first round. but I am gonna take my first pick in the second round. I do have multiple now. This is my real pick. So
Yep.
I think I'm looking at. Yeah, ooh. I'm between a couple guys again because they're still on the board here. Let me see. Hold on. This guy. This guy looks decent. But I think I am going to go with we're gonna go. All right, which position am I looking at? Okay, I think I'm gonna go with a lineman here. The question is which one. Do I end the Perry Nails fall? It's I don't know. I'm not super high on him, man. I know you are, but what am I?
Don't have to take him.
I know I don't
Yeah.
have to. I honestly kind of like this guy better. I think that would be. Yeah. Shoot, man. I'm sorry it's taking so long. It's just, man,
You're okay.
I get
You're okay.
I get decision analysis here in these picks.
Decision
So
paralysis. It's
yeah,
okay.
that analysis paralysis. I'm gonna take an outside shot here. I don't know if you know how good this player is, but Tommy Myers, left tackle out of Oklahoma. He's a first to second round true talent. And I'm actually gonna move Ian Ochoa back to right tackle, and he'll start over Caleb McGarry. And
That's
this was an
fair.
A+ pick. He was a ranked 32nd. Apparently he played
Nice.
college basketball for 2 years. Hidden dev, very strong anchor, 6'7". Perry Nails goes to pick later, so he's not falling to you. Would you have taken Perry
That
Nails?
sucks.
if he
I was
there?
probably taking Barry Nails. I
Yeah.
can't see the screen anymore because it's all black and darkness.
Oh, that's good.
So just yeah, I'll let me know if anything interesting happens.
Hopefully
when
fix itself, but
hopefully.
there's
Okay.
some
Well,
good
at this
players
point,
on the board, man. I feel
there
like I have
are.
an idea of who you're going with, though.
Who do you think I'm gonna go here?
I think one of those 5 edges. I think you need edge, and I think they fell pretty far, and it's really just which one of them do you like more? I don't know. That's where I feel like you're going. Could be
For
wrong.
sure. Possibly. I think I'm not gonna go that. I really do like the edges, but I need edge. I need edge, but I think I like a player just a little bit more.
I know who you're going now, actually.
Who?
Now you're going Baker, aren't you?
Who? Oh, I was thinking about it. No, not him either.
No, okay, then I don't know
I
you're
was
going
thinking-
now.
All right.
No, I'm
I'm gonna
not
go with
sure.
left guard Lamar Reddick
Okay.
out of USC LA.
He looks
I
good.
really like him. Ranked 23 in true value, hidden
Nice.
dev, 90 strength. Bada bang, bada boom.
I was looking at
Beautiful.
him too. He did look pretty good.
Okay, my screen fixed itself. Beautiful.
Alright.
So now Sim, dude, next-
Before you do that, real quick, I just want to see if there's anyone I'm really wanting to trade up for, possibly by any means. But
I've also
Nah.
been considering trading up, but
Nah,
I'm not
I
going to do
think
it just
good.
yet.
go ahead and
We're
just.
actually going to probably I'm going to sim pick by pick, but not too slow. We're just going to
Okay.
see how this board falls.
So Philip Vernon. I think that's fine for where he's at. They go Cade Glenn. Okay, did not look at him. Did not look at Ladarius Floyd. I think he's pretty solid from what I did see. Quincy Meander. Okay. A lot of linemen going here.
Yeah, I'm glad. That's why I'm glad I took the lineman.
Elijah
Yeah,
Allen,
wow.
another
Ooh.
guard. All these linemen.
Yeah.
It's a big run. Juan Alonso
there we
finds a
go.
home in Washington. Yeah, that's a good pickup for him. Another back on the lineman train, Jeremiah Ferguson to the Titans. Caleb Wilcox.
Probably try to trade up here with the Browns.
Okay.
Try to make a trade happen here. Actually, let me make sure that I have a guy on the board I want to get. I think I do.
Bradley
think I
Huffman.
do. Hoffman, yes, that is the guy I'm looking at. Actually,
Fair.
no. No.
Peralta.
There's
Parker.
another guy I was looking at. Taj Parker. I'm going to try to get him
Okay.
right now.
Curtis
I'm
Smith,
making the calls.
running back again. Raj Parker. Yeah, he honestly, yeah,
I like him a
he's
lot
good.
as a pass rusher
He's
and just like, yeah, I think that, he might have a lower floor, but again, the higher ceiling, I need a dog at the edge. I'm going to make a call here, try to get this deal to happen. So we're
We're
going
gonna
to
talk
trade
to
center,
the dogs.
talk to the dogs. Who let the dogs out? Who? Me. I did. They need Shador Sanders. Oh wait, they have Shador Sanders. They need Shador Sanders. They need Shador Sanders.
They need him.
They can trade me Shador Sanders and their pick, and yeah.
There
No,
you go.
let's see. Where's their draft picks? I don't know. Because I'm looking at the trade block like a poo-poo butt.
Good job.
Okay, just line up. Just have to do it like this. Yeah, I'm worried because I'm rocking. I might have to rock with Sam Howell. It's starting to look a little more likely.
I mean,
By the
Boston's
minute.
still on the board.
He is. I do like Boston.
But he could fall. I feel like he's gonna fall a little farther.
Maybe. Let me see here. Where's the Browns? Here are the Cleveland Browns. We're the Cleveland Browns. Yeah.
Yes,
So
we
I'm
are.
gonna try to snag 47 off them. And we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna send them pick 70 in the third. And what would be relative value for 47? I mean, you're going back that many spots.
Yeah.
Do you think I have to give my third and my fourth here? What, 70 and 102 for 47?
I'd say either that or your fifth and then like a fifth next year. Either.
Just a fifth this year and a fifth next year for their second?
Well, in the third, obviously. I'm kind of just.
So yeah, my third, my fifth, and a fifth next year.
Possibly, yeah.
I'll try that. I'll try that. See if they accept it. Nope, they aren't quite there. I'm gonna probably have to do the 3 and the 4.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give that a shot. They are also still just not ready to accept it. So I'll go ahead and I'll throw in a fourth next year. I have a couple of fourths, so I will try to give them more capital. They're getting closer, but I might need to throw them a third next year. I mean, it is the second rounds. There's talent on the board, and they're almost there. So now I'm going to just give them a 6th round pick this year, try to close it out. It's going to be a third this year, a fourth this year, a third next year, and a 6th this year to get the pick 2.
All right.
Or sorry, not pick 2, round 2, pick 47. And Birmingham's traded up. This pick.
Quite far. I'll trade you a 7th round pick for your pick.
Oh, deal. Fleeced. Easy. All right. Yeah, but this pick, I'm going the speed rusher out of Miami, Taj Parker. Welcome to the squad. Need to go get an edge, and he's ranked 100 in true value, but he's hitting dev.
Okay.
His athleticism is not great, but he has a finesse move, speed awareness, and I had a feeling we'd have a pretty solid player on our hands. Not too bad. I'll take it.
Yeah, we did talk about how his floor was definitely lower than some others, but he has the higher potential.
Has upside, and I'm happy with that pick. Anything you want to do before we move to the Battlehawks pick?
No.
Actually, yeah, okay. Actually, if I do next use your pick, I don't know if it'll go to the Battlehawks.
Just keep doing quick.
Sure.
Yeah. Here goes the center to the Lions. A lot of linemen. There goes Mario Escobar, D tackle. I kind of liked him. He was decent. Jaw Downs. The second running back off the board, actually, which is kind of crazy considering I think there's still better guys.
Yeah, there's a couple of dudes on the board still. That's interesting. Battlehawks go grab Taylor Harris, the right tackle.
That's interesting. I mean, not bad where he's at now. Ashton McMillan. There goes Curtis Smith.
There we go.
Steelers got their quarterback and their running back. BJ Radigan finds a home. I don't know why he would go there, but sure. Paris Johnson there. Oh no!
Oh, you want Owen O'Brien?
Dude, he looked so good. He looked better than Baker. Man. Tragic. That's okay. That just it's one of the positions where it's more of a want than a need. So I can live without it. Enrique Gabriel finds a home. I still don't think he's that good to be at 57. He should be further down. We saw Sean Peralta. We saw Cameron Donald, Benji Yarborough. Interesting. I didn't look at him at all. Trey Ortiz, he was projected a first-round pick for the Bills, so that's a steal for
There you
them.
go.
Bradley, wow, that's
Like
a
Hoffman,
great pick.
he was round 1 projected
Yeah, man.
player, and he falls all the way to 61.
I mean, to be fair,
Incredible,
you played a big part in that. Najee Hendricks, who is that? I don't even think I looked at him. All right, Jaguars. Are they gonna snipe a player before me? No. Braxton Calhoun.
So who do you have a player here at a 64?
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple, honestly. I mean, there's still some corners on the board that I could be interested in. Jason Boston's still available. Yeah, Byron Whiteside's still on the board. Shout out. Jeremiah Baker is still here as well.
Decisions.
Yeah, I think. I'm really just not as high on these. I mean, I like Terrell Cousins. I think he's 20 years old. He's super raw, but he has a high ceiling. He's very raw though. I think I actually I'm gonna take the guy. I think that you really like this guy too. You considered taking him at pick 6, and he's fallen all the way down. Or is that's not true? You were gonna go Kelly, weren't you? Or were you gonna take Baker at 6?
Potentially. It was there was
Well, it doesn't matter. I'm taking Jeremiah Baker, the tight end.
There you go.
He fell all the way to the end here of the second round. I mean, he's ranked 46th in true talent, so it's a good pick. He's hidden dev, really just super. He's 75 strength for a tight end is pretty good. Him pairing up with Darnell Washington, the run blocking should be awesome from the tight end position. And Jaden Lippett goes there at 65.
Listen to your pick here.
Yeah.
Right here.
Yeah, and I'm
Just
not
to make
afraid.
sense, huh?
Yeah, there you go. I am not afraid to reach a little further on this one because I know he's not technically valued there. He's projected to go a little bit later, but I think he's better than anyone else that's available. So I'm going to reach for him, and that is not it's a brother, but it's not the brother. Dom Thorpe, corner, 6'4" out of Florida State. He just looks awesome. He looks awesome. He fell for whatever reason.
He is an insane prospect.
Off the field issues probably, but he looks awesome, man. And he's a steal. He's 24th in true value.
Yeah.
90. He's normal dev, so that is a little unfortunate. But I mean, he is a crazy athlete. 95 speed. He's 6'4", 180.
Hey, worst case, you got a 6 special teamer.
I mean, he's gonna start. He's gonna start. So there is that.
You want to just use your pick, or do you want to keep going by pick?
Let me see here. Is there anyone I would want to trade up for? Not really. I think I'm cool. Those were all the main guys I was really hoping I could get a hold on. So I'm cool to just sim to the next. And it's mine because you traded yours, right?
Yep.
Do you see Byron Whiteside goes to the Commanders? The Eric Broyles goes to the Battlehawks. That's a interesting one for the team. Not a ton of like crazy names at this point that we've covered. At pick 96 here, who is available that I would want? This is the part where I'm like, I haven't done as much research on a lot of these guys. Receiver's still a very big need for me, honestly. I could take an Asian running back. That'd be kind of fire. There's like none of those in real life, which is crazy. Ooh, Tito Ray, the fullback.
Oh.
The 4th round projected fullback. Let me see. What else is here that I could want? At line, edge don't need. D tackle could be. No. Good at linebacker. Good at corner. Is this safety any good? Fuck no. This guy sucks. All right, I'm probably gonna be taking a receiver here. I just had a figure out which one I like.
De Jong's dribbling.
Oh, I did not mean to press.
Uh-oh.
What happened? Who did I
You
take?
took a UV LaMelo Ridgeway? What the fuck?
What happened?
What happened? You took a quarterback.
I didn't press anything. I think you pressed something.
No, I swear to God, my hands were. I'm literally eating cheeses, bro.
Did the I mean the pause draft probably went off. That's probably what happened.
No, it didn't. I didn't touch
It
the
had
pause
to
draft.
have though. I mean, I'm not accusing you. It just must have because I was at receivers. I was looking at receivers.
I clipped the last 45
Who
seconds.
did I
So we'll
take?
see who the culprit is. You took a quarterback, LaMelo Ridgeway.
Oh, okay. Actually, you know what? He was my favorite quarterback on the board. So, okay,
There you go,
there's
you
that
win.
at least. I mean, he was a.
You
I think
win.
he was a day 3 prospect, but still. Oh, they know Ray.
Why- Okay, maybe it is. It says the clock is completely stopped. Why are picks being made?
It said it was okay. Hold on. Can I? Is that? How did that happen? I was in. So okay. So it said it was unpaused for me, but whenever I'm in the draft board, it doesn't give me the option to do that. Like to change the to resume the clock. So I
It's
have
like,
no
I just
idea.
resumed it. And
I don't know what happened.
I don't know.
But
It was
it's-
completely paused on my screen. I don't know.
Yeah, it was unpaused for me. It said I could pause it again, but it shouldn't have unpaused in the first place because I was on the draft board. Oh well, it's fine. Not a big deal. Took a shot at a quarterback. I wasn't even sure
Alright.
what receiver I wanted anyways. It was just a needle in a haystack, so that's fine. We can keep going.
Just next user pick. Just get right to it.
Yeah, that's fine. I don't even have a pick in this round.
Yeah, I don't either. I'm picking at the top of the 5th. So, 4th round will go by, and
All right.
5 is here.
I have 2 picks early in this round. So let's see. Well, I'm glad I didn't take Raphael Collins. He is still here.
There you go.
Man. I mean, receiver really is my biggest need at this point. It's just, is there one even really worth the pick here? I don't know. Once again, I do hate that it goes back to the top. That is very frustrating. Very, very annoying. I mean, there's really no one that great available, but let me just look at my favorites and see what other guys are here. Okay, I think I am going to reach a little bit further down the board here to help fill in a D tackle spot here, depth spot. Mike Burton out of Oregon State. He looks like an insane athlete, insane finesse rusher from the interior.
There you go.
I picked him at 132. He's a 131 true value. So, I mean, that's like exactly where you want him. A normal dev, but I think he's a interesting prospect for a depth piece as well. Go
Okay.
to your pick,
I
Sheffield Chiefs.
wonder, checking. How do I check my draft picks? I'm trying
You
to make
don't.
sure like I have all the picks that I need.
Oh, like
So I guess I can just see once I pick. That's my pick at least. All right. So yeah, I will be going with this one. I like this player. I think that he will be solid for us. Hopefully, I will be go ahead and picking the LA Tech Matthew Firth, will linebacker.
Did not
Need
look
some
at him.
linebacker help. He is hidden dev. He's
Okay.
okay. So he's funny thing ranked 316 in true value,
Okay.
but he's hidden dev,
There you
85
go.
speed. You gotta love it.
Yeah, there
there
you
you
go.
go.
There you go. I mean,
You
that's
pick right after here.
I do indeed pick right after. That guy sucks. Yeah, I think this is going to be the receiver pick now. Maybe. I'm still like putting it off because I just don't know. I mean, between these three, I mean, this guy is clearly falling for a reason. I know very little about him. I think it's going to be the pick, which is just, it's gross. I'm not even a huge fan of, I don't know, the receivers are tough right now to figure out what I want to do. It's just like, there's really not a lot of great options. This is a bad receiver class, as we've talked about. Just don't really see a great option. Oh, this guy could be maybe something. No, he's not good. Damn. All right, I'm gonna stop the fall. I actually am gonna take Raphael Collins here. I know he's fallen probably for a reason. What is going on?
What? Why? What? What?
Who did it draft?
Nate Hall, the receiver.
Okay, he was on my board. I don't know what's going on. It's
Is your thing
unpausing.
like bugs?
I have no idea. It's only whenever I click on him. I just need to stop looking at Raphael Collins, I guess.
He's a bug. He's
I don't know.
He's glitchy.
Nate Hall was on my board. I mean, I wasn't huge on him at that point, but it's fine. It's a depth receiver. I just needed receiver. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I have no idea either. It's like just paused and you're talking about a player
Yeah.
and then just goes pops
Yeah.
up Nate Hall.
It's only whenever I'm Raphael. So
If Raphael's a
Sim, and
glitchy
hopefully he goes.
maybe he gets off the board here. Maybe that's
he's
why
a
no one's picked
commander.
him, 'cause
Oh, he's a commander.
he's
Thank God.
glitchy.
All right, and
All right.
You're back up here.
I got a couple of 6th-round picks, but you started off here at 164.
Yeah, I once again don't
Jordan
necessarily.
Phillips.
Oh, there you go. I don't have a ton of like guys that I'm super attracted to. If you know what I mean.
No, I always, we have different problems.
Yeah, actually, there's some. Okay. I don't need another linebacker. An edge might be good. I don't know. What am I looking at? I could just go receiver again and call it a day. Let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna double dip at receiver here. I'm gonna take Shaquem Taylor, who was the guy I was looking before Raphael, and I picked him 8 picks after where he was projected, and he's just a speedster guy. Probably gonna be more of a return man than anything.
Fair. All right. Well, I know where I'm going with this one. I have a couple of round 1 to 2 defensive tackles here.
Oh wow.
In day 3 in UDFA. So we're gonna get the guy I want off the board here. I think. We need to come in. Obviously, there's a couple of guys. Oh, maybe not him. Fuck, his F injury. That's rough. I ended up having to double dip. But I think, yeah, with this one, I'm going to go ahead and snag out of Florida, Jason Winkler, the defensive tackle. He looks really good. He's ranked 41 in true value. I drafted him at 166. He's hidden dev, 93 strength. He is a beast. So I love that. And we're going to try to hit some stuff down the board. Of course, you had more of those middle picks than I did, and so especially after I traded up. So I get to come back here in the 6th and make another pick. And, well, do I have another pick after this? I do. So that gives us some more flexibility. So I think I will actually double dip because the board has fallen very favorably. And another UDFA projected player, but they want around 1 to 2 talent. Defensive tackle Josh Garcia. And that's hopefully another slammer of a pick. He's ranked 29 in true value, another hidden dev, 94 strength. Here we go. This is how we do it. Okay. Assume you're good to sim to user pick. No trading up here in the 6.
Nope.
Okay.
I'm okay.
Beautiful.
I'm chilling. All right, and this is my last pick. Unless I can trade with the Jets for both of their picks.
Or like when you trade, like when you do really late pick trades, and they'll just like trade you their pick, and you just go back. Like that's like what
Yeah.
they're proposing. Like, take this pick that's later. That's it.
Yeah, it's
Just
great.
move back.
Yeah, man. I actually do want to try that trade. I'm gonna do I'm gonna do my 7th and a 7th next year for their 2 7ths, the Jets.
Really?
Yeah.
Like, oh, like oh. Hmm. Okay. Okay. Yeah.
They
I get what you're
decline
saying.
it.
Oh.
Fine, I'm just gonna stick and pick then. I'm not fucking doing more than that. Crazy. They really want to make those picks too, I guess. All right, let's see who's on my board. I will say, yeah, I was very interested in. I think those. I was looking at some of those D tackles that you were looking at down the board. I didn't have anything like knowledge on them because I didn't really look at D tackles, but there is some. I still think there's 3 good ones on the board here. Just like which one do I want? Because I'm definitely taking one of them. I think they're all pretty interesting. Maybe this one though. It's the last guy. This guy. Ooh. Actually, no, I'm going to take this guy. He honestly is probably better than the D tackle I took earlier. Eric Wright, UDFA projection. He is 102 true value, but hidden dev, good strength and speed. It should be a really good finesse rusher. And that's my draft done. And you got one pick up here.
I've got my final selection here.
Unless you want to try trading with the Jets. Maybe I should have traded with the Titans. Darn. Maybe they were going to be less attached to this.
Oh man, where do I go here? Dude, yeah, this is not a great situation.
Yeah, I mean,
sometimes I could go quarterback.
it is 7th round, so it's not like
Yeah, not a big investment. Which one will have the most chance of not stinking butt? It's a great question. This guy's okay, dude. Yeah, I'm not sure about any of these guys really. Not going to spend too long on this, but just want to get a good idea of late round possible okay quarterbacks. Well, someone with probably some traits at least. I think physical traits are most important. Some throw power or some speed be preferable. Kyle Day has elite throw power, elite strength. He is just as a cannon, and he has some solid deep medium accuracy. I'm just gonna take him. Kyle Day out of Georgia Tech. You are a Birmingham Stallion, and he's 233 in true value. Yeah, he's probably not that good, but 94 throw power. You take that. So maybe has an interesting physical profile. Sam Howell replacement, maybe, probably not, but how do you feel? How do you feel about your draft? How do you feel about?
Well, I guess let's look. I feel a little jibbed by the game, but chipped by the game, but it's okay. We'll start with mine. We'll start with mine. I guess it's fine.
Start with yours.
So first round, Deshaun Hackett's a 75 overall. Yeah, I mean, I think my trio is gonna be very good. He's a very solid player, honestly. I quite like him. I think he'll be a good pick there, hopefully. And then Tommy Myers actually is a very good value pick.
Yeah, that was a really good one.
Yeah, 77 overall. Coming in more of a power blocker, but he looks very good. Hidden dev could be my cornerstone left tackle of the future. And then Jeremiah Baker, yeah, he was a 75 overall, so definitely lower overall than I think we thought he was gonna be. But still very good. Don't get me wrong. He's honestly does fit that George Kittle. Did you give him George Kittle or is it the other guy?
I gave him Gronk. The other guy's George Kittle.
Yeah, I honestly he matches up really well with George Kittle's actual speed and stuff right now. So he is still very good, and he will probably start over Darnell Washington. And Dom Thorpe, I mean, I know he's not hidden dev, but he's an insane athlete. Really good floor and coverage. Not a great tackler, so that is a concern. But I think he is. He's very fun option here. And then the quarterback that I got addressed, LaMelo Ridgeway, 66 overall. Honestly, not great, but he's the same overall as all timers, so it's something. And then I got to actually make a real pick, Mike Burton, D tackle. He's not bad. He'll probably make the roster. Nothing super crazy though. And then I got forced to take Nate Hall, but honestly, whatever. Took a shot at receiver. He was a guy I had on my board. He's more of a physical guy. That's fine. The other receiver, Shaquem Taylor, more of that speedy, deep threat potential, but really just going to be a good return man. And then pick 7th round pick Eric Wright, 72 overall hidden dev. Yeah, he actually looks really really solid. Coming in with good finesse and block shedding, good athlete. Injury is a little concerning, but he's a good player. But let's take a look at the Stallions draft.
Okay, so I'm pretty happy with my class. I'm actually pretty happy with how everything has fallen. So I think some picks better than others. So Jordan Brockers, I'm very happy I took him. He is very good, and I think he will hopefully be the Birmingham, central weapon for many seasons
He will
to
be
come.
the Stallion.
He will be the Stallion of all time. And of course, I actually really like my second pick here, Lamar Riddick, 78 overall guard. He is a menace, a big man, certified big man. He will be awesome in the trenches. And then the guy I traded up for, Taj Parker, 71 overall isn't great, but he's hidden dev. He'll develop quickly. I'm not terribly upset about it. We needed edge rusher, and he's an edge rusher, and he has a lot of upside. Matthew Firth, a bit of a miss, I would say. He's hidden dev, but that overall is not great. Maybe he'll develop into something nice behind the other backers. And then this is where I feel like I quote unquote won the draft. Got two awesome defensive tackles here with these 6th-round picks: Jason Winkler, Josh Garcia. I put a lot of stuff into defensive tackle scouting because I just had no defensive tackles. It was pretty bad. Tiger Tart was leading the group, so had to revamp the room. And then Kyle Day is also here. He's 65 overall, not terrible.
Honestly, just slightly worse than Sam Howell. So
he's 4 overall lower, so he won't be immediate starter, but who knows?
Yeah,
who knows?
Let's take a look at the go to the Battlehawks here. So they start with Parker Cunningham, who I said I thought he was better than I think you thought he was. And I think I'm right to feel that way because he is pretty good. I mean, he's kind of the similar prospect as my tackle I drafted, but like a round later. But I still think a very good player. They got another tackle, Taylor Harris, who we saw as a potential 1st-round guy, but he dropped for a reason because he's just not. And he is just a really good pass blocker, but he is not strong at all. I think he'll be decent. Could develop. Eric Broyles, they took 73 overall corner, hidden dev, very fast zone base corner, pretty solid pick there. Outside of that, really kind of didn't do great with their late picks at all. But let's take a look at the Kings and see what they did there. Oh wow. Oh my god.
Whoa.
Do you want to talk through these?
Okay, so very top-heavy draft, I would say. Josh Burke is a great ball player. He's pretty awesome. Yeah, 82 overall, and he's a dog. Somehow even more of a dog. It's their 2nd-round pick, Matthew Bright, who is even a higher overall starting out. It is incredible. This Louisville team.
I thought he was good, but I didn't think he was gonna be that good. That is crazy.
It's a shock. I overlooked Matthew Bright entirely, so that's on me. Wow. But the rest of these picks aren't crazy. They do end up grabbing a 70 overall corner late. Not sure if anything, these other guys stand out. And yeah, that's so very interesting draft for our division. If you want to look at the NFL, maybe see how everything shook out.
Yeah. Oh my goodness,
We
this
can.
draft, so many really high end players.
Do you want to start by pick maybe and see?
Yeah, let's do. We could do round. Just go through the first round real quick. I guess we'll see. So Cam Gilmore 79 overall, so he's very good. Keegan Howard 79. Ortiz turns to be a 75, which I think's
I'm.
fair.
Yeah, I think he's good.
He is.
But
Yeah.
yeah,
Definitely needs to develop still. Ben Burke 80 overall. We thought
Yeah.
he was very good. He is very good. 87 finesse moves coming out. He is a really good speed
Yep.
rusher. Obviously Brockers at 6. Lynn Haywood actually lower than I thought he'd be. I know he was a first or second round projection, but I feel like he's better than he looks.
he does have a 97 strength.
He's a big boy, big
pretty
strong man. Jamar Pierman 78 overall. He is a very good player. Probably maybe the best floor coming in. Jordan Watkins definitely a little a reach there for sure. I like Jordan Watkins, but definitely more of a prospect that needs some work.
Yeah, Parker Kershaw. Well, actually, not to skip over Nate Howard. So
Hayward.
Hayward, who's there, and yeah, probably if not a great pick for the Giants, but
Yeah.
Kershaw's actually awesome.
Yeah, we kind of thought he was awesome too. At 49 injury though, that's not awesome.
That is not
Oh,
awesome.
Yeah, so that's the concern there. If he can stay healthy, he is a really great corner, but that being healthy part is a problem, unfortunately.
Yep.
Do you see Eric Phillips looks good, Fryer looks solid, McLean's actually better than I thought he'd be.
For sure. Well, yeah.
Clyde Taylor's pretty decent, Overstreet's good, Colin Bush also very good like we expected. Manny Bodden, 72 overall, not bad, but obviously not a top player necessarily. Brad Kelly is a 78. Kilgore is a 74. I'm interested in looking at him. He does have hidden dev. Yeah, honestly, yeah. I mean, he's I would say only slightly worse than Ortiz. So be interesting. I mean, he does have a great arm. Kendall Gibson's an 82 overall. Oh my goodness. I knew he was good, but I didn't know he was that good. God damn. What a pick for the Cardinals. I mean, there's a lot of high-end talent in this draft, Voodoo.
Oh, yes.
But I think my favorite one was Sam Burris, and I talked about it. He looks awesome because he is. He's insane.
Yeah, 94 speed is a strong safety. That's incredible.
Yeah, and he
Holy
just
moly.
flies around the field. He's good at everything. I mean, he is very good. Dalton Beach also very good, 81 overall safety. He's also awesome. Yeah, I mean, I hate having to scroll down all the way, but also Josh Springs, very good as well. We expected. Shocker, right? Shocker
Wow.
how that happens. But we see Max Farley, Carter Griffith also. We expect him to be very good. He is 82 overall. Joey Ramos was a great pick by the Bills. Actually, they were locked in to him, and he was good. Stringer, Connor, Brad Jones, and Deshaun Hackett, all kind of in that good back at the end of the first there. But yeah, like there's some crazy player. That Matthew Bright was crazy. By the way, just sorting by overall in the second rounds, that Najee Hendricks guy that I never heard of or looked at. He is an 80 overall. He's very good.
Yeah. Yeah, and there was a lot of guard talent.
Yes,
Honestly,
a lot of guard talent. Perry Nails is a 78, still good.
Yep.
Definitely. Yeah, guard was just loaded this draft, which is rare. Owen O'Brien, Bengals might have had my favorite class. Yeah, he looks fucking awesome. Just looking at the Bengals, they got Burris. Actually, never mind. They only picked those two guys, and everyone else is kind of butt. But yeah, this draft class was honestly very loaded, I would say.
it was just a lot of talent, and it was all over really, like in different spots.
It's
plenty
crazy.
of talent.
1280 plus overalls in the draft. That is insane. A ton of 79s and 78s. some 77s, obviously. There's a lot of talent in this class. So I mean, I think all teams at least got a good pick, hopefully. Um, we'll see. LaMelo Ridgeway bust? Question mark. Probably because he's not playing. Yeah, let's go ahead and you ready to sim to
Let's
the
do it.
preseason here, and we'll see if there's any UDFAs or anything else we wanna do there. By the way, are you gonna have Jordan Brockers as number 8? That is his current number.
That sounds like a pretty good number. Yeah, I think he can rock 8.
So there you go.
He's got that.
Okay,
Love
Jose
that for him.
Ware. Okay. I will say there was a quarterback that I saw in the draft. I don't think he's very good at all. I didn't draft him for a reason. He's not good. He's 54 overall. Ben Medrano. He's gonna hit my roster, but he is 6'2", 299 pounds. Star dev. He is the future.
Wow. There you go.
No, I saw him and I was like, okay, I gotta keep an eye on him. But he's just not very good. Yeah, I mean this was a very strong, very strong draft class. It's interesting that the Kings floundered. I mean, other than those 2 picks, those first 2 picks were awesome for them, but they didn't do a great job outside of that. And fortunately, the receivers in UDFAs aren't great.
Yeah, not necessarily. I'm gonna probably try and get Strange. Oh my god, it's $7 million penalty is crazy.
For what?
Trying to get Cole Strange off my roster here,
Oh.
but he's
Maybe try to trade him, I guess. No one wants him.
yeah, might be the play. So I was gonna releasing him, but he is a fucking bag, a hefty bag.
That was very fair.
I'm able to figure it out.
All right, yeah, there's very interesting. Yeah, nothing too crazy there, but let's see. Anyone new on the trade block? I'm curious. Sometimes there is. Some guys that probably shouldn't be for sure. So you know, let that kind of go because I don't want to trade for guys that shouldn't be on the trade block. Yeah, this is a very, very interesting offseason that we just had for sure, and very curious to see how our teams end up turning out here.
Absolutely, it's a fun draft. That was a good draft, and yeah, it's plenty of stuff to figure out here heading into this next season. How are these teams going to shake up? You know, how's this rookie talent going to make a difference? Of course, you have shaking things up quite a bit with your new star running back, and I also myself have a star running back. So
yeah,
we have,
and
a fun little
I have a
contrast there.
new quarterback. I have I mean, definitely very, very interesting for sure. I feel good about the moves that I've made. I do feel like there is some picks I would have liked to make otherwise, because just looking in hindsight, but that is okay. But we will be back here with the cut week once we go through these preseason weeks real quick. All right, we are back here. We have made our cuts, so we will start with my cuts first, I guess, since we're here. So let me go to the Renegades, and I guess I'll just do all moves. So start from the bottom of this list here. So first, we got rid of Brady Cook. Yeah, we needed to. We put LaMelo Ridgeway, the rookie quarterback that I didn't want necessarily, on my practice squad. Also, the big bastard Ben Medrano, the 299-pounder on my practice squad. Released Jam Miller. Put running back, I think he's a rookie, on practice squad along with Trevor Etienne. Released Gage Larvaden. Released Isaiah Williams. Released Malachi Corley. Released CJ Dupree. Released, or actually signed, Eli Raridon to the practice squad. Also Mitchell Evans to the practice squad. Gus Hartwig to the practice squad. Released Quincy Roche and Jay Tefele. Signed Jalen Walker to the practice squad. Kevin Knowles to the practice squad. Jalen Cattle onto the practice squad. Keandre Jackson released. Lathan Ransom to the practice squad. Moves Deshaun Hackett to Sam. And also changed his number out of the 30s because that was disgusting to like a 50s number. And then Christian Harris moved to Mike as well. So that is my moves there. And then Stallions, what did you do? We'll start from the bottom of the transaction things here.
Oh yeah, let me get to the transaction.
Oh, you signed Marcus Mariota.
Yep, went ahead and grabbed
Exciting.
yeah. So I went ahead and grabbed myself a mentor quarterback for both Sam Howell and the rookie that we drafted. So we'll see that. Did have some painful releases to do. So Laviska Shenault got released, rest in peace. Reverend Jordan got released, rest in peace. We have Brian Thomas, Chris Edmonds, Keem Dent, Cameron Mitchell, Antonio Greer, Justin Jones is a bigger one. Folaronzo Fadukasi had to get the cut.
He's gonna be a renegade.
There you go. DJ James, Chris Hilton, Jared Kingston, Kobe Bryant is signed to the practice squad. Devon Marshall signed to the practice squad. Devin Eastern signed to the practice squad. Tyreen Powell signed to the practice squad. Ruben Lowry signed to the practice squad, and then I was moving my guards around and all that good stuff.
Editing his overall.
Yeah. Yep, editing he's a 99 overall, as you can see.
Yeah, that's what Bill Belichick thought he was whenever they drafted him. But that will be it. That was the offseason. We love doing the offseason. We put a lot of work into the drafts, prospect stuff. And I hope you guys enjoyed. And next time we will be doing episode 2, which will be our week 1 rosters. We'll go over the team overviews. We'll do our predictions of how we think each team in the UFD will do. And we will only go through weeks 1 through 6 this time. As we said, we want to do a little bit shorter episodes across the board, which is ironic because I know this one's going to be longer, but at least the regular season parts are going to be shorter chunks. Voodoo, do you have anything you want to add?
No, I'm excited to get right back into the mix. Glad that we all were able to get this off season and rebuild and recuperate another, slowly these rosters are going to get better. And of course, at the start of next episode, we'll go over the specifics of each roster and don't know, my tongue slipped there, but go over the starting lineups and how everything's truly going to pan out. And yeah, I'm excited to do it alongside you, Cameron, and come back here for another awesome episode.
Alrighty. Well, I want to thank everyone for watching. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.
Take it easy.